for another week of Eastlake Walls football. The excitement starts now with an amazing pregame show live from the Den. Here are your hosts, David and Jeremy.
All right, welcome to another night at the Den, the pregame show with Jeremy Budish and myself, David Oliphant. Tonight we're surrounded by all senior wide receivers, and we've had a couple of you on the show already, but we know there's a couple of other senior wide receivers. We couldn't get everybody on the show here tonight. We'll do some other items for senior night here next week against Bothell, but here we are. It's coming, the big game. This will be streamed before the live stream of Bellevue on Saturday night. It's been a while, I think, since Eastlake's played at Bellevue, so this is a super exciting week. But we'll get into it here with the receivers. Just introducing everybody. When I introduce you, if you would just wave at everybody. Jacob Kim, senior wide receiver. Jacob's played football at Eastlake going all the way back to fourth grade. Chase Hanchka on here. Chase is also, I think, going back to third grade. Landon Johnson. Landon's come out for his first year of Eastlake football this year with a colorful lacrosse career, and also played youth at a different program. And then we've got Mason King. Mason's having a great year on both sides of the ball. And then Estes Oliphant, my own son. Estes coming back for his first year back out after a year of injury. And Ethan Rogers, another senior here. Ethan's missed a bit of the season. He played in the first game, and we'll see him here back in the playoffs. And then Arif Doshi, also a senior who's played for Eastlake for 4 years. So to everybody, welcome here tonight. Glad to have you. And Jeremy, just go ahead and kick us off here.
Yeah. And I think, Dave, you brought up having played in Bellevue in a while. I think I went back 10 years. We have not played in Bellevue in the last decade as Eastlake. So potentially I know we played back in the 90s. I saw a clip tonight on Jenny Johnson's Instagram feed of her cheering at a game with Justin as the running back. Talk a little bit about that tomorrow or on Saturday night at the game. So with that, I'm gonna jump into the questions. So I'll start with Chase. Chase, you did a lot of preseason or off-season work and preseason work, summer work, did a lot of camps. How did that prepare you for stepping up into the bigger role this year as one of the big targets on the team?
These camps, first, I didn't get to play at all really last year because I was just not starting as receiver. Then I got injured. They kind of helped me make that big jump from sophomore year to senior year. Different types of players, different intensity, I guess.
Awesome.
Kind of helped me ease into that different skill level.
Yeah. Well, you can see it in the play. It had a big impact on what you're doing this year for sure. And Estes, you put in a ton of work in the off season. How about you?
I think the biggest thing for me was I was never like a big weight room or like speed training guy, but from lacrosse to my like 7-on-7 stuff, it helped me get way faster. I was probably running like a 5.3, and then I ran a laser 4.71 or 4.70 at Wazoo. So that was like a fun jump and seeing times, and I don't know, I just saw physical stuff go up a lot.
Who's faster at the laser run, you or your dad?
My dad didn't run it, but he'd probably trip and fall in the first 10 yards.
Ow.
You both put in a lot of hard work. It was fun to watch you this off season. Both in the weight room and 7-on-7 was great. Historically, Eastlake hasn't done a lot of the 7-on-7, some of the competitive stuff, and with just, Jervis and Skyline and some of that stuff. It was really, I think that was great to watch you guys this off season, this summer, do some of that. I agree. All right, Jacob, moving on to you. It's been super fun to watch you this year. We went down to Southern California. I still remember Williams Field. You had your first couple of catches there. Also started at corner down there. But your biggest game of the season so far is Tumwater. You had 2 big touchdowns there. You've been out for a couple of weeks. You'll be back soon here. But, for you, what's been your key to success this year? And how did that go into the Williams Field and Tumwater game kind of help propel you?
I think a lot of my success comes from, being focused in practices and, really being in tune with the game plan, knowing what we're going to be going up against and knowing how to counter that. Yeah, I mean, in game, it's the same thing. I mean, you just got to be focused. You got to see what you're up against and you got to learn to react. And I think as the season continues, it's just you get into like a groove, you get comfortable with it, and it's just you're rolling from there.
Just chase that, Jacob. Walk us through your first touchdown at Tumwater. Couple deep balls, Ryder threw some good balls. Walk us through what happened on those plays.
Yeah, so I mean, I come off the line. I'm running at the guy. There's a safety over top of me, and I knew I was running the post, so I see him frozen there, and I give him a outside step, and then I jab my foot, and I go back in, and I knew that if Ryder threw me the ball there, it's going to be in the end zone, and while the ball was in the air, all I was thinking is I cannot drop this. Once I was in the end zone, I mean, honestly, there was no feeling there. I was just so excited, like I couldn't think. It was just awesome.
That's awesome. Well, it's been super fun to watch you grow from even fourth grade to now, and you're having a great season here, and we're glad to have you back. I'm excited to see what you do against Bellevue and Bothell.
So is that confirmed, Jacob? You're back this week against Bellevue, or what's the prognosis here?
I think that's going to be a game day decision.
Okay, I like that. We don't want to give Bellevue too much of the secret sauce. The chances of them watching it before this is slim, but yeah, I agree. We'd love to see you back for sure. You were definitely one of the top targets, before your injury, and so getting you back, a game or two before the playoffs would be really good. So jumping over back to Chase. So Chase, with Jacob going out, you've become one of, if not, or you are the target, right? I mean, the number one target. If you go look at the stats, you got 3 touchdowns on the season, 27 catches, 341 yards. You actually surpassed last game. Last year, I think it was Chase Dannemiller was the number one receiver last year. You surpassed his yardage last game, so great job. So as you go into each game, how do you prepare for a tough matchup like this week with Bellevue, right? They have some really strong defensive backs. What are you going to do, and what have you done this week to get yourself ready for that?
Oh, to be honest, I try to, in I guess like my mindset area, I try to treat it the same as it would for, I guess, like Woodinville or Gig Harbor, whoever it is. I try to treat it the same as I would for those, also like lesser teams. But I try to focus more on like my fundamentals to make sure I'm not messing anything up.
So just really practicing routes and how you're gonna lose the back as you make your break.
Yeah, just no mistakes and try to just treat it the same as any other team.
Good. Well, it's obviously worked. You had a couple of really big catches in the that lost to Skyline, but you had a huge game that week. And then we've seen the couple touchdowns. I remember up in the box on your first touchdown, Dave losing his mind. So that was pretty fun. It's always fun to see Dave lose his mind. So
happens once in a while. Landon, we'll transition to you. Your senior year, you came out. You've had a decorated lacrosse career. You're going to go play Division I lacrosse on the East Coast here next year, but you've had a heck of a senior football season. It's been fun to watch you. What are your most memorable play or two, and kind of walk us through what happened on those?
I mean, I think personally, I guess that my 2 most memorable plays have been like my 2 touchdowns this year. The one against Woodinville, I kind of just blacked out, I guess, when I got the ball. I saw that the blocks weren't amazing. I think that was mostly due to Woodinville. They just had a good plan for that play. And then kind of just my lacrosse instincts took over, made a couple moves, and then made my way into the end zone. And then with the Mount Si one, I remember Coach told me, like, get on his toes and just run as fast as I can. Ryder threw me a good ball. So yeah, those are probably my two most memorable plays. And then like for the team, I think there's a lot, but I would probably have to say like Ryder's touchdown run against Skyline, just handling the snap, the bad snap, kind of just making a play out of nothing. I mean, he literally cut through their whole defense. He had guys like running from the side trying to crack him, and then guys from behind like chasing him down, trying to hit him from behind. So, and then he just made his way to the end zone. So I think just seeing him make those plays gives us a lot of confidence, especially as receivers, like knowing that you have a quarterback that can be a playmaker gives us a lot of confidence, and he's a leader of our team. So seeing him make those plays is huge.
That's great. Great job, Landon.
So jumping back to Mason. So Mason, obviously this year getting a lot of playing time. Last year you had a couple of kickoff returns, and then the year before that, I don't think you played any offensive snaps, JV, or I know you were playing DB on the defense most of that year. So this year 141 yards, 15 catches. What's your approach been to getting ready and staying ready for when your number's called, and then how do you support the other receivers during the week and during the game?
I mean, my biggest mindset during the games is just like always finding an open space and always just like trusting the routes, remembering the routes, and like knowing the game plan. And then how like all the receivers help. Like I feel like our routes, they build off upon each other. Like, for slot, there's some routes that'll leave other guys open in the game. And I think like outside receivers, they have some routes that leave slots up. So I feel like they build off of each other.
Well, obviously it's working, right? I mean, when you look at the stats, Ryder's having a great year. You guys are having great years. There's good numbers being put up, and we're only in week 6, so it's obviously working. I think you guys all ought to be really proud of what you're doing so far this year. I know the rest of Kinko's watching and trying to figure out how to slow down the passing game.
Yeah.
And obviously if they do that, we have that other threat in the backfield.
Yeah.
So that's always fun to watch. So back to you again, Mason, on the next one. So Bellevue's defense, they're known for being physical. You guys have obviously looked at some film. They got a couple of really good DBs. What are you doing, and how are you guys planning to attack their coverage?
I mean, it's just the same as every week. Like, work off of each other. The run game always helps the pass game, and same if we're passing well, the run game always works. And so it's just the same as every other week. Doesn't matter who we're really playing. Just staying in, watching film, and making sure we know our routes before every game.
Who's their number one threat in the backfield that you guys are seeing?
For Bellevue?
Yeah.
In the backfield, like on offense?
No, for Bellevue on defense. Have you guys scouted somebody that you're seeing as a threat?
I've seen one of their linebackers, number 10. I could see he's a ball player.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a new linebacker coach this year. I believe he came in from Bothell. So I think they definitely did some things on their coaching staff last year after that state championship loss to O'Day. Brought in a couple of pretty heavy hitters on the coaching staff, and linebackers coach is one of them.
Yeah.
You're having a great season, Mason. Fun to watch you. Transition, Estes, you worked hard in the offseason. You're continuing to work hard. Coach Hurd brought in a new offense this year, new coaching staff, new drills that you run every day. For you, what's a drill or a workout that's made a big difference for your performance at wide receiver?
I think I think I have two. I think that this is like smaller, but it's just nice for warming up. I've never really done before like a stretch, like a little passing thing. We have a drill called settle noose, and we it's just a nice way to get some catches before practice, gets the quarterbacks warm. It's pretty easy. We do a little, I don't even know how to explain the first part. It's just like some little crossing routes, and the quarterbacks just give us some easy throws. Then we do a hitch, a slant, a post, and a go on both sides. Most of the time we don't get all the way through it before stretches, but that's great. And then I think that routes on air has been a really strong drill because the coaches can really point out the yardages and can really point out things like, for me personally in slot, like, slipping a linebacker, things like that. So it can be nice once I get into team or a game, making sure to emulate how I did routes on air in the game, running it with speed. That's one of the biggest things Coach Hurd says is coming off the ball with speed.
That's great. Thanks for that.
Okay, jumping over to some a little more fun, less football-y questions. Always good to see what you guys are thinking. So I'll start with Ethan. So Ethan got hurt in the first game. We talked about that a little bit. You're on the sideline. You're at practice. You're getting to see kind of who the loud guys are, the funny guys. So who are you gonna come up with as the loudest and funniest guy in the receiver group? And then what is that? Go ahead.
So personally, I think the loudest is Estes. Before like every drills, he's always like hyping everyone up. Always like encouraging people, and like if someone's messes up, he's always there to keep up a lending hand. He's just a overall good guy, being super loud, and yeah.
Super surprising, Estes.
Who's the funniest though, Ethan?
Probably Landon. He's always cracking some jokes. He's always saying something stupid before.
All right, Doshi, let's hear the real story. Same question to you. Who's the loudest and who's the funniest?
I'd probably say both for Jacob Naukiki. He's always positive. He's always keeping the mood light. And on game day, it's like great to have someone like him who can ease your nerves and make sure you have as much fun out there as possible.
Shout out to Jacob. That's awesome. That's great. Jacob, Kim, coming into this season, I would say the wide receiver group was kind of a question mark for some people. You lost people like Cade Harrelson, Chase Miller. There's a host of other guys. So we have all these juniors that are coming in as seniors, and you guys have stepped up and you've performed. If you were to describe the culture of this receiver group in one word or in a sentence, how would you describe this group?
If I was to describe our receiver group in one word, I think it would be brotherhood. All throughout these years, we've been playing together, and we've built a great relationship, and we're all very tight with each other. And I think that really translates into our gameplay during games. We're there to pick each other up and support one another, and even during practices, we're cracking jokes and loosening each other up. And I think it really helps how we bonded.
Good answer.
Brother.
Good answer. All right. So back to Landon. As we get ready for Saturday night, everybody's going to be watching this. Probably going to have at least 1,000 viewers because they know you guys are on. Typically we're in that 1,000 to 3,000 range on most Saturday night games. So this is a big one with Bellevue. So what's your message to Eastlake fans ahead of the big game on Saturday night at Bellevue?
My message would just be, if you can make it to the game, definitely try and make it. This is going to be a big game. A lot of implications on playoff seeding. I know that. And it's not too far, about a 20-minute drive. So definitely if you can make it to the game, be there, cheer for us, be loud. It really helps more than, they might think. But I think this should be a good game. I think we've done a good job preparing this week and we've been locked in. So hopefully we can come out with a dub and make the Wolves fans proud.
You guys are all going to go to bed early tonight and get sleep in and then repeat tomorrow so you're super rested, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Good answer.
As long as the Mariners don't go to the 15th inning tomorrow night, that'll help.
Right. They haven't had that issue the last 2 nights.
No, they haven't. Mason, for you, this could be personal or team, maybe some of both. What are your personal goals for the rest of the season, and how are you measuring yourself?
Well, my first personal goal for the rest of the season is definitely getting a touchdown. I think I really need to get one before the season ends. And my biggest goal is just in practice, like always making sure my reps are as good as possible. Like us wide receivers, we have a saying, it's DIA, and that's like do it again. And it's like if you have a bad rep, like we tell each other to do it again and to make sure you always get the best of the reps you get.
I love it. I love it. Well, we hope you find the end zone too, buddy.
Waiting for it all year. Dave will have the call for sure. Hopefully he can make some other team close the door next to us when we're going a little crazy up in the box. So
Hopefully this week, yeah.
yeah. All right. So I'll call your name out. We're gonna go around the group as we close this out here. So this is for all of you. How do you envision the rest of the season unfolding for the Wolves? And what are your hopes for the team as we come and close out the regular season? So start with Estes, the funny guy.
I envision the rest of our season going really well. I'm excited to see how these next 2 games go. I obviously hope we win both. It would help our playoff seeding a lot. It would put us as a 1 or 2 seed in Kinko, depending on how Skyline season goes. So that would be awesome to have a high seed in the playoffs, maybe a bye week. If not, if we win only one of the games, that's we're still going to playoffs, have a chance to make a run. So that's what I'd say for the rest of the season.
All right, Landon.
Yeah, I mean, kind of similar to Estes. I think take it one game at a time, right? It's a big game against Bellevue, and then we have another really big one next week, senior night versus Bothell. And then hopefully, make a deep run in playoffs and cap it off with a state championship would be great. But if all else fails, I just hope that everyone has a fun season and has things that they can take away from the season and, be grateful that they're a part of this team.
You guys all wear your state championship rings from lacrosse on the bus?
I might have to.
All right, Ethan.
I think we're gonna win the next 2 games. Like, I think we have the ability, if we can remember our assignments and stuff, then I think we could make it pretty far in the playoffs or even win a state championship. It just all comes down to how much do we want it. And I think we are a pretty hungry team where we can be able to just do good in the playoffs and just do good in the next couple of games.
How about you, Mason?
I think the rest of the season is gonna go good. I mean, we have had great game plans before every game, and if we just stick to those, keep doing what we've been doing in practice, working hard, and keep getting better every day. That's a big thing Coach Hurd talks about, just getting a little bit better every day. And I think if we stick to that, I think we're gonna have a great rest of the season.
Jacob Kim.
Yeah, just like Ethan said, I think we have a great group of guys, and we just gotta execute and win the rest of our games, and we'll see how playoffs goes, and we'll make it deep and hopefully get to the chip.
Doshi.
Yeah, just reiterating what the other guys said. We just need to keep our energy up, stay consistent, and I think we can make a deep run if we play our best football when it matters most.
And last but for sure not least, Chase.
Just kind of to piggyback off what Ethan said. That our team has a lot of talent and potential, but Coach Hurd said this a lot. We all gotta play the full 48 minutes. Just if we do that, I think we can make a pretty good run in playoffs.
For sure. No, I think having been around you guys for a number of years, like Dave, coaching you guys at different levels, super talented group of guys. For sure, fun to watch, and I think and get excited every time we get up in the booth and get to go call a game, and it's fun to see you guys all out there doing what you do and scoring touchdowns and being part of the team. So appreciate it.
Guys, thanks for joining us tonight. That wraps up this session of the pregame show with here in the den with Jeremy and David. But ball out against Bellevue. We'll see you for senior night against Bothell. And Wolf Strong, Pack Strong. Go Wolves.
Go Wolves.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go Wolves.
It's Friday night, and the Wolves are on the road. Another chapter in one of the East Side's fiercest rivalries. From Sammamish to Bellevue, the Eastlake Wolves bring their relentless drive, grit, and pack mentality wherever they go. Focused, hungry, ready for the fight. Across the field, the Bellevue Wolverines stand waiting. A powerhouse program, a legacy of champions, and tonight they're defending their home turf. Two teams, one field. A rivalry defined by years of battles under these lights. This is more than a game. It's pride, power, and preparation meeting the moment. The pack travels well, and the energy is electric. The countdown to kickoff starts now. Live from Bellevue High School, it's Wolves football, starting now.
Good evening, Wolves fans, and welcome to Bellevue, Washington for the Kingco Crown Division Showdown that's been a year in the making. It's week 7 of the WIAA 2025 football season, and today's matchup is more than just a game. It's a collision of tradition, talent, and playoff dreams as your Eastlake Wolves travel to face the powerhouse Bellevue Wolverines. The stands are packed, the energy is electric, and the stakes couldn't be higher. This is the only second meeting between these two programs in the last decade. Thanks to the Kingco recent reorganization last year, Bellevue took the win, 42-27. But both teams have reloaded and are hungry for a statement victory. Number 30 ranked Eastlake enters with a chip on their shoulder, having weathered a season of adversity, rivalry battles, and comeback moments. Number 6 ranked Bellevue, meanwhile, remains the gold standard in Kingco 3A football, riding a wave of physicality and championship pedigree. Let's talk about the Wolves. Under first-year head coach, Eastlake has shown resilience and growth every week. Week 1, a tough road opener down in California against Williamsfield. The team showed flashes of promise. Week 2 was a bounce-back victory over Ging Harbor. It was a statement. Miles Johnson exploded with 225 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns or rushing touchdowns, a passing TD, and a defensive touchdown. Barry Smith added 153 passing yards and 2 TDs. Week 3, Tumwater brought hard-fought loss and the loss of receiver Jacob Kim after 2 receiving touchdowns in the first half. But the Eastlake offense kept firing. The Wolves could not stop the wing T. The Eastlake defense has the ability to stop the Bellevue wing T. We'll find out tonight. Week 4, Friday Night Lights at home versus Woodinville, the first Kingco game of the season, set the stage for a statement win. Week 5, the Battle of the Plateau against Skyline. Henschke emerged as a reliable target. Colby Johnson returned after missing the first 4 games, bringing energy and physicality to the defense. Week 6, Homecoming versus Mount Si, a needed Kingco victory, a statement that Eastlake will continue to fight to win every game. Eastlake has not won a road game this season. Will tonight be the night? Eastlake's offense is a balanced and explosive, led by Barry Smith's arm and Johnson's versatility. The defense is physical with multiple playmakers. This team has shown resilience after tough losses and rivalry games. Coach Hurd's leadership has energized the squad. Let's talk about the stars. QB Ryder Barry Smith, senior, 1,029 passing yards, 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and plus 2 rushing TDs. Running back Miles Johnson coming in tonight with 698 rushing yards, 7 touchdowns, 110 receiving yards, 2 receiving touchdowns, 29 tackles, and 1 defensive TD. A true way all-star. We're going to take a pause and rise for the national anthem.
Middle School Choir under the direction of Mr. Andrew Jacobson.
not sure if the audio can pick it up. There's a cappella choir singing the national anthem on the Bellevue sideline. Continue on, Jeremy. Fill us in on these stats.
All right, coming in with Bellevue. The run-heavy wing T offense is what we're going to see tonight, and a physical defense. Bellevue has an unmatched 14 state titles and Washington high school football. Let's look at some of their stars. Max Jones, Rylan Witherspoon, Kaysen Carta, Nick Nora, and A.J. Morton are the names to watch tonight. Bellevue's offense built around the buck sweep and lead plays executed from a tight and wing formation. Let's expect to see that tonight. As we get ready for the game, I'd like to take a moment to thank our incredible sponsors. First off, Kinson & Kinson Homes, Eastside and Seattle home experts. Pine Lake Ale House, craft beverages, tasty eats, and good times. Sherrill Hill Compass Real Estate, helping Sammamish neighbors find their place to call home. LBM Travel, let Leanne be your expert guide. And Bradley Appliances, helping families on the east side with trusted appliances and great services. I'm not going to talk about Pape Materials because my number one announcer is sitting next to me, Mr. Dave Oliphant. He is Mr. Pape. And so we're getting ready for the kickoff. The Wolverines are going to kick off. Eastlake will receive.
Great job with the intro there. We've got 52, it looks like Matthew Curran, former Bellevue Christian player, kicking off to Miles Johnson and Landon Johnson deep. Miles will receive it at the 5, and Miles has got a seam. He's coming across the 25 out to the 30, and Miles will be tackled on the 31. But it's a great thing when our starting tailback, who's one of the Kingco leaders in rushing, starts out the night with the football. And we're going to talk a lot about the Johnson family history tonight. It runs deep at this field. The Eastlake offense will take the field here. Ryder Barry Smith, number 12, the quarterback.
Ryder coming in, as I said in the intro, with 1,082 yards, 14 touchdowns.
Landon Johnson on the near side, Chase Hanska on the far side, Ort at tight end, Budish at wingback, and that is Miles Johnson at tailback. Out of the shotgun, Barry Smith fakes the inside handoff, and the ball is deflected at the line of scrimmage. Landon Johnson looked to be open on the curl route after the play action, and Barry Smith's pass is knocked down, so that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
And we talked a little bit about Hanska in the intro, and we talked a little bit about Jacob Kim, but Landon Johnson's been a reliable target. 20 receptions, 231 yards on the season. And 2 touchdowns.
Eastlake comes out here on 2nd and 10. The Bellevue crowd is loud. Barry Smith hands it to Miles. A delayed handoff, and Miles pounds across for 11 yards and a first down on 2nd and 10. I don't know if that was Miles firing out of the cannon or the offensive line or both, but 11 yards on this defense on 2nd and 10 is huge. Great statement here on the first drive of the game. Eastlake in their all-white uniforms tonight. Bellevue in their traditional navy, similar to Michigan. Okay, Eastlake comes out in 4 wide, twins to the near side into the far side. Mason King and Ort are in the slot. Barry Smith, quick slant to Landon Johnson right through his hands. I think Landon would like to have that one back. That would have been a first down. Wet ball and maybe some footsteps, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for Eastlake.
So that's 2 targets for Landon tonight. Obviously, they're trying to get a little bit of the passing game going to take the pressure off the run game.
There's a lot of good athletes on this team, but Landon might be one of the fastest sprinters with the ball in his hand, and I like to see that they are trying to get him the ball. Landon to the near side here. Ort at tight end with Budish behind him at wingback. Look for a run behind those two. They shift to the near side. I like the call. It's a quick toss to Miles. He's following his Finn Waldron, his big tackle, and he'll get out to about the 35. A gain of, looks like they're calling him out at the, we'll see where they spot it. At the 34, so it's going to be a gain of 3. It's going to bring up 3rd and 7. And this is a big 3rd down for Eastlake.
Kind of a statement 3rd down, if you will, first of the night.
These two teams have a long history. We'll talk about it. I remember coaching these exact kids on this field for years in their youth. Barry Smith hands off to Miles. Miles following his blockers up the middle. Miles looks like he might squirt through, and he's going to get across midfield just inside of Bellevue territory. Well, we didn't get a good spot. It'll be right on the 50-yard line, so it's going to be 4th and 2 from midfield.
Yeah, so, I mean, these teams have a lot of history in youth, not a lot of history at the high school level, until last year when Kinko realigned, and now we're going to start seeing Bellevue every year as long as they're a good team.
Barry Smith to Johnson. Johnson runs into his own blockers, tries to spin out to the near side and slips just a little bit, and Eastlake will turn over the ball on 4th down, and we will see the Bellevue offense for the first time here tonight, led by junior quarterback Kaysen Carta. Kaysen is number 4, and we'll talk a little bit about the tailbacks here. I think number 2, Trevin King, who's friends with some of these guys from youth football and other, and also 21 is Max Jones, both good ball carriers in the backfield. King is offset to the far side, and they fake it to King, and I'm sorry, I couldn't even tell who had the ball. That was Max Jones for a gain of 2, right up the middle. So Max Jones, number 21, double that number 42, is a famous number here at Bellevue. It is retired in the gym. It is Justin Johnson's.
One of 2 retired numbers in the gym.
I think Buda Baker's the other, and Justin is Miles Johnson's dad. Miles, free safety, rolling down on the near side here. It's a handoff to 23 on the far side, and that is Big Divine, number 57, the junior that plays all game on both sides of the ball, listed at 6'3", 235, with a tackle for loss, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 10. This is exactly where we want Bellevue to be. They run the ball well. They're great at 5 yards between in a cloud of dust, but throwing on 3rd and 10 is not their strength.
And looks like there's a wolf down on the field. But yeah, Big Jack Divine, and there's somebody else in on that tackle with him.
Talking a little bit about the Eastlake defense while they come to the sideline here. A few guys mixed up tonight. I see Ort and Paterno, who've played all season at defensive end. Waldron in there at defensive tackle with Divine, who just had the tackle for loss. Landon Johnson and Finn Hanna, the corners tonight. I also see Colby Johnson, the Division I commit to the University of Colorado, playing inside linebacker tonight with number 26, senior Adam Barrick. And also I see number 4, junior Jack Steiner at outside linebacker. And number 27, Barrett Bratland, the junior who had a couple of interceptions last week. And good to see that is Jack who
Divine.
Just had the tackle for loss.
Looks like he's
able to get off the field on his own 2 feet.
He's a tough kid. Saw him after he rolled an ankle last week and said he just needs to go ice it and rub a little dirt on it.
He is a beast. All right, Jeremy, big play here. This is 3rd and 10 on the far hash. Bellevue does what they do. They come out of the huddle quickly. 23 motions, hard count. It'll be a handoff up the middle to Jones, and he's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Finn Waldron, the other 2-way lineman for Eastlake, and that's going to be 4th and 10. So Bellevue comes out on the field and is able to muster.
That was a statement.
No yards gained on their first drive, and they bring the punt crew out on the field. This is number 8, Nick Nora, who's also he is an athlete. He's a receiver and defensive back. And Miles Johnson,
200 pounds.
Miles back to return here.
flag thrown late. I don't know if this is going to be delay a game.
And this is
Miles
Johnson. Yeah, Miles Johnson's been the consistent punt returner. He's only returned a handful, 27 total yards on punt returns this year.
Okay, so interesting here, Jeremy. Eastlake called for illegal substitution. It's still 4th down, but now Bellevue brings their offense back out on the field. So at 4th and 5, this is a huge down at this point in the game.
This is.
I'm confused what the illegal substitution was. It looked like Eastlake had their punt return group. It must have been that we had 12 men on the field. Carter under center. That's 21. Jones behind. It's a quick pitch to number 5, and he does get the corner, and he's got room to run. That is number 5, Dresden Jimerson, on 4th and 5 with a 45-yard touchdown for the Bellevue Wolverines.
And it looked like Finn had him, in the backfield. Not sure what happened there other than he just, had some moves and broke by him. But it sure looked like Hannah had the ability to make that play.
Well, as we settle into playing against this wing tee that's very deceptive, I think we know one thing. Number 20, what number was that? Sorry, number 23.
23?
Oh, sorry, was that number 5 that scored? I mixed that up. So whoever that was that had the ball is an athlete there.
So Bellevue's kick is good, so that puts 7 on the board for the Wolverines. We're at 8:17 left in the first.
I thought that was 5, Dresden Jimerson. We'll have to go back and take a look at that. What a disappointing penalty and a huge momentum swing.
Agreed.
The Bellevue punt group on the field on the 50-yard line. They gained no yards.
It's going to be a penalty that the Wolves are going to wish they had back for sure.
Yeah, sorry, that was number 5, Dresden Jimerson, who's only a sophomore, clearly has some wheels. And here's the Bellevue punt squad. I'm sorry, it's number 92 is the kicker. I said earlier I got it wrong, and we don't have 92 listed on the roster. Eastlake pulling one player off the field. Looks like a little bit of miscommunication on special teams to start this game off.
Rain comes down pretty steadily here.
The forecast is rain all night. It looks like it'll come in different waves of sprinkle and heavier rain. Right now it's heavier rain. High kick, Landon Johnson will field it on the 10. Landon has wheels. Let's see if he can get to using them. Landon gets to the 26, and he's knocked out of bounds. Eastlake offense will take over. So, Jeremy, going back to the first series, Miles Johnson had a couple nice rushes. We got the ball out to midfield, just didn't convert. Haven't been able to complete a pass yet. One batted down, one through the hands of the receiver. So let's see what Eastlake tries to establish on this drive. I noticed number 21, Mason King, is in the game.
Barry Smith comes in with the play. And it's not going to be a favorable passing night. I'm sure we're going to see the Wolves with their spread offense, go to the air, but it's not a favorable passing game right now with this rain coming down here.
But Eastlake does come out in the 4-receiver set. King in the slot with Orton in the slot on the far side. Hanska and Johnson at the split end positions. Miles Johnson behind Barry Smith. Shotgun, it's a handoff to Miles, and he's got to seam up the middle. I like this. Miles Johnson around the outside. Miles across midfield. Miles down to the 40, 30, 20, down to the 10-yard line. Miles Johnson refuses to go out of bounds. The ball's going to be spotted at the 10, and that is a huge gain.
That was 25-10. That's where we started. That is on the 25-ish.
20, I think on the 26 there. So that was and we do have a Wolf down on the field, back on the 27. If I do some quick math, that's 40 yards on this side and 24 on this. That's a 64-yard run for the senior captain, Miles Johnson.
And if that's the case, Dave, that's his longest run of the season, 64 yards.
Well, Miles is not a sprinter per se. He's a shifty runner, but you could see when he got around that corner, there were some fast players that were not catching up to him.
All right, so a little concern here. We've got Karch and Devine both out of the game, so the Eastlake offensive line a little bit thin right now. Like to see these guys both get back into the game.
Both of them came off under their own power, so that's a positive. But yeah, seeing them both down early in the game is not great. But it's interesting. I mean, this Bellevue team should be very good at stopping a run, and they've really struggled with Miles tonight.
Johnson gets the ball again. He breaks it to the outside, cuts back up the middle, inside the 5, down to the 1. Miles with a great cut. It's going to bring up 2nd and goal. There is no first down to be gained. The chains are down, so it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 1 for the Eastlake offense, who came out in a 4-receiver set on goal. That's your modern-day goal line offense.
That is your modern, yeah. So it's interesting, back in the 90s when Justin played Newport, he had a quote that I've picked up from the newspaper. His offensive line was giving him a lot of daylight. It looks like Miles' line is giving him a lot of daylight today.
Okay, we're in double tight this time, and they do give it to Miles. He's hit hard in the backfield, able to just get back to the line of scrimmage. He may have lost a half of a yard. So Eastlake comes out, and I'll call it 12 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tight ends there. And the Bellevue defensive line was able to get some penetration. So here we are on 3rd and 1. I'd like to see Eastlake punch this in here against this physical Bellevue defense. Miles in the backfield, Ort and Budish on the far side. Look where they block. Now they shift to the near side.
Bellevue shifts with him.
They give it to Miles, and he goes to the weak side on his own. Touchdown, Miles Johnson! What a great call by the coach there. The Bellevue defense over-adjusted to the shift that was shown earlier in the first drive of the game, and Miles, with his own effort, was left one-on-one on the outside.
What a performance by Mr. Miles Johnson at his father's alma mater.
Indeed.
He holds a ton of the rushing history here. The Johnson brothers hold a ton of the rushing history here. It's a long, thick heritage with the Johnsons.
So if I could, Jeremy, let me just indulge in the Johnson family here for just a moment. Miles' younger brother, Owen's a sophomore. He's the starting tailback on the JV team. You will see Owen next year, so the Johnson legacy is not over.
We've seen Owen this year. He was a holder down in Tumwater.
And Miles' twin sister, Maggie, is a senior cheer captain down in front of us.
Down in front of us.
But Miles' father, as you mentioned, Justin Johnson, was a fullback, tailback at Issaquah High School his freshman year, and then played 3 years here for Bellevue. And interesting enough that Miles Johnson's mother, Jenny, was a cheerleader at Eastlake. So we kind of have a blending of cultures here. Justin Johnson finished his career at the time with Kinko records of 3,939 rushing yards, including 1,555 yards one season, many other touchdowns. He had records. He had 51 career touchdowns. And here in a minute, I'd like to also talk about the brothers, because the brothers also, Justin, Miles' dad, has 5 brothers who all had a decorated high school football career. But after the touchdown and the extra point by Byman, it is 7-7.
So here's something interesting, and we'll get to it after Byman kicks, but we'll talk a little bit about some stuff that Miles has done that...
A little bit of a pooch kick here.
I like the call.
Fielded on the 25, and a pack of Wolves.
And we've seen that a little bit from the Wolves this year on the special teams to do a little bit of a pooch. Yeah, so back in that 94 game against Newport, Justin had 290 yards. I believe that was his number 1 rushing game. And Gig Harbor, Miles was credited with 209 yards. However, we don't give Miles credit for his 95 yards. So if you go all-purpose yards, Miles beats Dad, and I love that. And Miles also in that game beat Justin's 4 touchdowns with that defensive 5th touchdown that he got that game. So I don't know that Justin knows that. We'll make sure we mention it to him next time we see him.
So I kind of knew we were talking about this. That Newport game was big, but turns out it was not his biggest game ever. So on the football, Justin did have 6 TDs in a game, and he did have a game with 305 rushing yards. He said I think it was against
I think
Burlington
Miles still wins with the 95-yard on the
all-purpose.
On the all-purpose yards.
Yeah, we'll have to do some research on that. Max Jones, 21 with the ball, tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Number 4, Jack Steiner, the junior with the tackle. Jack, an outstanding lacrosse player, also a backup running back for the Eastlake offense. Jack having a great season on the defensive side of the ball.
I mean, Jack's coming in with, what did he come in tonight with, 24 tackles?
Let's go, Jack.
So Jack's having a great season defensively. We've seen him a little bit offensively, but he's been a real consistent guy for the defense here.
Colby Johnson comes down as a kind of defensive end on the near side, and Bellevue able to pick up a first down on 3rd and 5. That was a big down. Interesting defensive look there. So it looked like Eastlake putting Colby, the fastest player on the field, on the near side end to help contain, but Bellevue able to get a push up the middle and pick up a gain of about 9 on 3rd down there. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. Bellevue comes out of the huddle quickly, as they always do, with a heavy set on the near side. Handoff is to Jones up the middle, and he's got a big gain, 1st down and more. He's going to be wrestled down by Landon Johnson inside the 35, down to the 32. So now...
And James Ork comes up limping. I don't know if he got a cleat to the foot, but...
Jeremy, I personally have a lot of memories on this field. I've coached games where we've won on this field, and I've coached where we've lost. But this is, for the state of Washington, a sacred ground for football. Hanska has 5 wrapped up, still spinning. Colby Johnson finally grabs him and throws him down. A gain of 8 or 9 on 1st down. That's number 5, Jimerson, who had the first touchdown of the game on 4th and 5 with the 45-yard scamper around the near side.
So the clock continues to run with 3:45-ish in the first quarter.
Bellevue comes out again, heavy right. Handoff to Jones on the far side, and he will run to the end zone for a touchdown. There's a flag down. That is in the vicinity of holding. I suspect this will come back. There was a massive hole, and I think the reason is whoever the guard or tackle was on that backside was holding. So Eastlake with a Christmas present there. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10 or so. Hanska comes out of the game. Hanska was in at corner there for a couple plays.
Eastlake fans are cheering the "You Can't Do That" chant. Always a fan favorite.
So the D tackles are Karsh and Waldron in the game right now. Looks like Devine is still taking a breather. Again, Colby Johnson and Barrick, the linebackers. Colby with an outstanding junior season last year. Started out the year a little slow this year. Had a little bit of an injury, and this is now his 3rd game, and he's made an impact every game he's played. Another handoff to Jones right up the middle. A pack of Wolves able to bring him down for a gain of a couple. It will bring up another 3rd down and long here. 3rd and 4 coming up. Bellevue comes out of the huddle quick. They're heavy set to the left on the far side. That is 2 Trevin King on the near side. They give it to Max Jones. He's hit by a pack. I see Bratland had him. It's going to bring up 4th down. The officials are signaling for 4th. 4th and short.
I would guess that we're going to see.
And coach is calling for the crowd to make some noise here. It's going to be a no-huddle offense, quick play. Look for a tush push or a hard count of sorts. Number 4, Case and Carter coming up under the center here. It will be a handoff to Jones.
And he's stopped.
He's hit at the line of scrimmage, but he keeps driving forward. Hard to tell. He got down to the 21. The yard to gain.
There's a Wolf down again.
It will be a 1st down, and looks like we've got another defensive lineman down. everybody's made it up on their own power, but we don't like to see this many guys banged up early in the game.
And Max Jones has got some D1 interest, it looks like, from Washington State and Montana State. So he's a player for sure.
He is a player. Jeremy, going back to last year, go ahead.
I'm sorry. He had 1,861 rushing yards and 24 TDs. And
coming into tonight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Last year. So gives you an idea of what kind of runner he is. And, the 3A, the Kinko Crown that he plays in is a competitive league. So
it is indeed. So this game last year, Bellevue was number 1 or 2 in the state at 3A when we played. And Eastlake at the time was, call it a 500 team. And Eastlake came out firing, and I believe took a 28-14 halftime lead behind some big passes from Ryder Barry Smith. Miles Johnson had a huge game last year, and Bellevue clawed their way back and ultimately won the game last year. But the Bellevue team last year had a lot bigger guys up front. They had a large two-way offense and defensive lineman went to Oregon, and some other guys. So I think Eastlake does match up well against him this year. We just got to figure out this wing T as the game goes along.
Yeah.
Handoff, it's to 2, Trevin King. Trevin looked like he was going to get outside. And that's Miles Johnson, number 20, wraps him up near the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1 for Bellevue. It's going to bring up 2nd and 9. Miles had Trevin's ankle. He was not going anywhere. I think the Eastlake coaches were hoping that somebody would punch that ball out, but Bellevue holds on to it inside of 2 minutes in the first quarter.
And 26 Barrett came in to finish him off. But yeah, he was up and had that ball exposed for a while. Yeah, so Bellevue last year went to the 3A state championship game. They lost to O'Day.
Hard count by Carta. He hands it to 5, who's got wheels. Looks to get around the outside. And there's a flag in the vicinity of holding or face mask. Miles Johnson was all the way back on the 25-yard line like somebody threw him.
And that flag came flying in.
We are biased here, Jeremy, as the Eastlake broadcast, but I'm going to hope for a holding penalty there and push this back to a 2nd and really long.
Yeah, and so after that disappointing loss last year, after being ranked number 1 in the state, the head coach brought in Reggie Witherspoon, so father of Rylan Witherspoon, as the running back coach. And he also brought in Jason Rimkus, who came in from Bothell, and he is one of the defensive folks helping try to shore up this
Both
defense.
Good coaches.
Yeah, so they've been around for a while and definitely no stranger to the game.
Bellevue heavy on the near side. It's going to be a pass play down the field. He's got a receiver open. Finn Hanna was in the vicinity, but that is a touchdown to number 23, R.J. Ward, a sophomore. So Kason Carta, who does not throw the ball very much, able to connect on his first pass of the night on 2nd and long. Disappointing there for the Eastlake defense on 2nd and long to give up a play like that, but we will get the ball back with a chance to tie this game up. The defense is playing hard. We do have to get some stops, and we've had 2 unfortunate plays with the penalty on the 4th and 10 and then the 4th and 5 conversion, and now that pass.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the Eastlake defense has been very steady tonight. There's been just a few moments of withering, if you will. And Bellevue's capitalized on both of those. So we need to shore that up a little bit. Bellevue's not a team that goes to the air very often. I mean, they do more than Tumwater, but we'll need to make sure we're not overcommitting to the run here tonight. I think the stat that I read online is Bellevue in the last 10 years has sent over 20 players to college football. So, I mean, it's a powerhouse program here in Kinko for sure.
Shout out to Miles Johnson's grandfather, Bobby Jones. Bobby just texted me and he said, watching Miles run on this field reminds me of watching Justin years ago. So, Bobby, shout out to you from Texas. We wish you were here watching with us, but we're so glad that you get to watch remotely.
Here we are for the kickoff with the two Johnsons back. They are not related. Landon and Miles, good friends, played lacrosse together since.
That's interesting.
Landon caught the ball with his back foot in the end zone. I thought they were going to call touchback. And Landon gets across the 35-yard line.
I was just going to say that. It sure looked like he had his foot in the end zone. They did not blow the play dead like they should have.
I don't know if the rule is both feet or the ball. I thought it was if any part of your body was in the end zone, it was a touchback. But the officials let Landon bring it out, and that was advantageous for the Eastlake offense, taking over on the 36-yard line here.
And Landon's been a real threat on the return game for sure. It's nice to have both him and Miles back there because they're both very dynamic runners in different ways.
Eastlake in a 3-receiver set. Ort will be at tight end, King in the slot. Barry Smith looking out to Hanska. Colin.
Not sure what's happening here. Looking for a ball.
It looks like the Eastlake ball may have got thrown to the Bellevue sideline. Not quite sure what happened there. Barry Smith
the officiating crew did not look super happy. I mean, quarterbacks like to have their special balls and make sure they're dry on a night like tonight.
Absolutely.
And so, see what happens here.
Barry Smith hands it to Miles. Miles cuts it up the middle. He's got room to run. And a pickup of about 7 or 8 on first down. Jeremy, last week at the end of the Mount Si game, it felt like we saw the same outside zone run to Miles about 8 times in a row behind your son, Nolan Budish, and also Finn Waldron, and it's a powerful combo.
I think I heard it was close to 20 times is what Nolan said after the game, but it was working.
And here it is to Miles again on the other side. He's got some blockers, hit hard, but still driving forward for the first down. So that'll bring up 1st and 10. The clock is stopped while the chains reset, but I believe they will wind it soon, and that should take us into the second quarter with 20 seconds left here in the first. So, Jeremy, as I'm looking down at the sideline, indeed, Devine and Karsh are both out. So we've got a couple of backup offensive linemen in the game. We'll look to call their numbers here soon.
That's a big loss.
Barry Smith hands it to Miles, who follows his blockers. Gets outside. Hard to tell where the officials are spotting the ball at. He will get across midfield. So Eastlake gets one more play off before the end of the first quarter. We'll basically flip sides at midfield here to go into the second. But Jeremy, what do we got here at the end of the first? Give some...
I mean, it's been a game of Miles Johnson. I was going to add up some unofficial numbers here because there's a lot of them.
Well, while you're doing that, if I could just indulge for one more minute on the Johnson family. So Justin Johnson, Miles' dad, has 5 brothers. There's 6 of them. The oldest, Leif, who played for the University of Washington in his high school career, rushed for over 2,500 yards and 30 touchdowns. Jarrett, the second oldest brother, he's here tonight, rushed for 1,200 yards. And by the way, I saw Leif also. Jordan Johnson was not a running back. He was a guard, but got to play while Justin was playing. Justin, we've already talked about his statistics. Lane Johnson, Justin's younger brother, rushed for over 3,000 yards and 44 touchdowns. And then the youngest, Jay, also rushed for 1,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. 19 touchdowns. Decorated career for all these guys.
The question for Bobby, who's listening to that, is how many groceries was that?
Bobby, that was a lot of groceries back in the day. Handoff Barry Smith to Johnson. Johnson cuts it back. Miles Johnson's got room to run. He's across the 30 down to the 25-yard line. I feel like we're talking about him all night, but he's earning his paycheck right now. Good job, Miles. So patient. Reminds me of Le'Veon Bell from the Steelers back there, just waiting for the hole to open and then fires out of it like a cannon.
It's definitely a Johnson love fest tonight, no question. I knew it was going to be coming in here. I don't know that I expected that unofficially Miles would be coming out of the first quarter with 101 yards, is what that number adds up to. But
that is
and then
awesome.
he starts the second quarter with a 25.
Well, I think it's personal. His mom was an Eastlake cheerleader. He'd rather follow the Cardinal and
I mean he's a Wolf
black
through and through. He's been beat by these Wolverines a lot of times in his career.
Yes, sir.
Now,
I will
some
go.
tough games, too.
The last youth football championship that Eastlake won a few years ago, Miles was the quarterback. Played for Coach Joffrey Schock.
Miles comes out of the game. He's going to get a breather
Miles
quick.
taking a little breather. Miles was quarterback when he was in 6th grade for the Eastlake Cubs, and they beat Bellevue in the championship. And that was one of Miles' badges of honor, winning an Eastlake championship against Bellevue.
So that's number 4, Jack Steiner in.
Barry Smith rolls out on the near side. He's got King. Doesn't like what he sees. He's going to tuck it and run it himself.
Love it. And Jack Steiner had a great block on that play.
A little extracurricular. Jack Steiner, number 4, laying on top of big number 77. I don't know.
Watch this on the replay. Number 77 comes in. Jack just lights him up and throws him down because he gets held by number 44 is just trying to throw him.
77, yeah.
I'm sorry. And Coach Hurd throws his hands up in the air.
Kid
like
77 comes out of the game now. So the Bellevue defensive coordinator didn't like what he saw. He's giving these guys a little bit of a rotation. Both of these teams have players that play both ways on the line. And with Eastlake being a little thin with Devine and Carshout, it'll be interesting how this game transpires. Steiner's still in the game at tailback, number 4. Steiner, play action. It's Ort over the middle. Ort inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line. James Ort the 3rd.
We see a little bit of action every game to big James Ort. He had a touchdown in the first game. Looked like he almost had enough room to make it.
Indeed,
make it go.
James listed at 6'4", 210. Also a dominant hockey player. Plays for the Junior Kraken. His father, Jim Ort, is the president of the WFA, the Wolf Football Association, our booster club.
So Steiner's still in.
And he's going to run behind Budish and Ort here on the far side. Indeed he does. And Steiner's following his blockers. He cuts it up. I think they're going to get Budish or somebody for a hold there around the hash on the 10. That's a spot foul, so that's going to push us back to 1st and goal around the 20.
Let's see if we can see who got the hold on this.
It's great blocking. I think
had
Nolan him for a second there in front of the
had
official.
an arm wrapped up on it, and the official was there to see it, so bring the ball back. Jack Steiner, a much different style runner than Miles. Much more downhill, go to the hole and just, kind of force it. Not as much of a finesse guy, but still a fun guy. Now Miles is back in the game. He got a little water, probably some oxygen, and he's going to go back to work here.
Barry Smith hands it to Miles up the middle. He's going to pick up maybe 1. We haven't talked about the Eastlake offensive line incomplete yet. The center, Paxton Jacobson, the junior, listed at 6', 215. The right tackle on the near side, Brady Painter, number 50. Seniors played youth football from 2nd or 3rd grade all the way up through. His dad, Darren Painter, and Ginger Painter are on the board for the Booster Club, and Darren's the vice president. 56, Henry Volpone, the guard on the left side. 65 is Lincoln Winter. Lincoln, believe it or not, dislocated his kneecap earlier in the preseason, is back from a tough injury. So excited to see Lincoln out there tonight.
And I think you're seeing Lincoln in because we're missing a couple other the key guys that went down earlier tonight.
Mason King in the slot, Ort at tight end. Miles motions out. They will pump fake to Miles. Barry Smith looks downfield, doesn't have a target. He's got room. He throws it just past the outstretched arms of Ort. That was a little bit of a prayerful throw, but Barry Smith, a great job using his feet to get rid of that. It's going to bring up 3rd and goal from the 16-yard line.
8:22 left in the second quarter.
We do have a very good left-footed kicker, Ben Byman, who's more than capable of making a 3-point kick from here, but I'd really like us to get in the end zone here, Jeremy.
I agree, and I think, on a night like tonight, last week the kicking wasn't amazing, and a night like tonight with this weather, I don't know that you put the ball on the ground.
Miles motions out, empty backfield. Barry Smith's going to go to the end zone. He does!
And Landon Johnson, that ball did not miss by much. Barry Smith threw a fastball on kind of a skinny post of sorts there, and it was just out of the reach. It was a great miss by Barry Smith. The only person that could catch that was
Landon,
and it just missed him. It was almost in his breadbasket. So Eastlake will come on to attempt a 33-yard field goal from the near hash. On the difficulty level, this is somewhat high, especially with some backup offensive linemen in the game. Good snap, good hold. Not a powerful kick, but an accurate kick. 3 points will go on the board, and Eastlake cuts the lead to 4 with 8:13 to go in the second quarter.
Shout out sophomore Ben Byman.
Ben Byman. We interviewed Ben earlier in the year, and he is just a good dude. He's also a good linebacker. He's chosen to focus on baseball and be the team's kicker, but just a great athlete. Jeremy, I was going to give a shout-out to our amigo, Sean Crandall. Sean's not with us tonight. He's in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
We miss Sean.
Visiting family there.
And I had a whole car full of live stream gear. Our other compadre, Andrew Bill, down here after setting everything up tonight and walking through all of the technical issues that we have occasionally.
Big thank you to you and Andrew and Natalie, your wife. I coached a game earlier today and had a homecoming festivity with my daughter, and you guys did all this yourself. So thank you for that. And Sean, we missed the crap out of you.
Yeah, and appreciate Sean taking the tech calls as we needed things through the afternoon as we got things ready. That was a great kick. It's into the end zone. They're going to bring it back to the 20.
Great kick by Byman. We were just talking about him. He had a little bit of a hip flexor thing earlier in the year and was struggling to get it into the end zone. And last week we saw against Mount Si, Eastlake attempted a couple of, I'll call them pooch kicks, and almost got the fumble on one of them. But yeah. Byman there with a bomb. And Bellevue will start with their worst field position, on their own 20-yard line. 8 minutes to go till the half. Come out in a bit of more of a spread formation than normal. To hand off to Max up the middle, and he will ride the Eastlake defender down. I believe that was 50 Brady Painter on the tackle. Brady, we don't see play a lot of defense, so great to see Brady in there tonight, next to Finn Waldron on the D-line with some of the other guys down. Eastlake in a little bit of a different defensive look than we would see against many of the teams, but we've seen this against Tumwater and Gig Harbor, who ran the wing tee. Also, Barrett Bratlin, kind of a DN linebacker on the far side. It's a handoff to 3, who's looking to follow his blockers. He had the edge, but then 26, Adam Barrick with a great tackle. Bellevue picks up a few yards on the play, but Adam may have saved a very, very long run if he doesn't make that tackle. It brings up 3rd and short, 3rd and 2. The line of gain is the 30.
Adam's our one player without a overlay picture, so we would have brought Adam's picture up there, but no photo of Adam. But he's been a pretty dominant fixture on the defense.
Hands off to Max up the middle. He's hit by a pack and drags defenders down to the 35. So it looks like Colby Johnson had him at the line of scrimmage, and somehow Max Jones is a little bit slippery. Picks up 6 on the play. The ball spotted on the hash on the far side on the 34-yard line.
And Adam Barrett coming in with 27 tackles coming into tonight. So, again, one of the Eastlake defensive tackle leaders.
If you notice, Eastlake's really rolling with no free safety. Miles Johnson's rolling down to that strong side. Another handoff to 3 on that far side. He's hit hard, but drags the Eastlake defense down to the 39-yard line. Jeremy, back to the defense. Miles Johnson, Hanska, others, Bratlin have played free safety for us this year. They're all down in the box. Eastlake's basically got 9 guys in the box plus a couple corners on the outside. And, of course, last drive they did catch us with a pass over the middle for the touchdown. So Eastlake is determined to stop the run here tonight. Bellevue with the heavy set on the near side. They hand it around the outside to 3. Same play they just ran to the other side. And that'll be a gain of about 4. Bring up
3rd and short.
So
We'll see where they
Witherspoon's
spot
a
it.
junior. Last year he was injured for the whole season, and so obviously his dad Reggie's the running backs coach, and it looks like he's got some interest even as a junior from Montana and Washington State also. So he's explosive for sure.
30-yard handoff to Max up the middle, and Max has got a first down and more. He's chased down by Steiner inside the 35. I'm glad that Steiner had the angle and the head start that he did, because it looked like Max Jones might have gone to the house. And Bellevue's going to come out with a no-huddle offense. Looks to the sideline, and
Eastlake's
timeout
gonna take
Eastlake. So I like that from Coach there. It feels like Eastlake on the ropes a little bit defensively there.
They go fast. Coach counters that move with a timeout, which is great. You know, that's the first time out of the half. 5:20 left in the first half, so I think it's a great move.
Coach Greg Hurd, can't say enough good things about him. His first year here with the Eastlake, he's coached at different locations, but he grew up at Stillicum as a wing T quarterback, and so he knows how to run a wing T offense. He knows how to defend a wing T offense. We actually sat down and talked with him about defending the wing T. And I think if these Eastlake players on the defense can just improve as the game goes along and be disciplined with their bodies and with their eyes, I think the Eastlake defense is capable of stopping this offense.
The big plays on one hand tonight by the Wolverines.
That's right.
And you know, and you can go back to those plays and say there was one little breakdown that allowed that. So I agreed. If we can just
hand
tighten
off
up
to
just
3,
a little
he
bit.
cuts it up the inside. He's got room to run. Miles Johnson had him, but not before he gets another first down, a gain of 11 on first down. Number 3 there, that is Rylan Witherspoon, the senior.
Junior. I think he's listed here as a senior, but
okay, on the roster
I believe he's a junior. Maybe depends on what source you're looking at, I guess.
We're provided a roster from Bellevue High School. He's listed as senior there, but on other stats, he's listed as a junior. So, Rylan, apologies. You're a good player either ways. Colby Johnson, the last to get up for the Wolves there. Looked like he was in on the tackle. We're up here in the box tonight with some of the Eastlake coaches, and hopefully not disrupting what they're doing, but they are definitely working on dialing this defense in. Bellevue comes out heavy on the near side. That is Max Jones behind the quarterback, and that's a false start on 14. Mos Kalepo, tight end, junior, and Bellevue doesn't have very many miscues like that because they go on one a lot. They just come up to the line of scrimmage and snap the ball, but
yeah, there's definitely a miscommunication there.
Miscue there by the tight end. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 11, actually.
And the clock remains running with clicking down to 4 minutes.
Handoff up the middle to Max. He cuts it on the far side. He's hit 3 Wolves there, and this is the classic Bellevue offense that Justin Johnson, Miles' father, ran, is pound the ball up the middle to the fullback and then counters and sweeps with the offset running back or the wing backs.
So I know number 56, Henry Valpone, was in on that tackle.
Valpone, another great two-way player, done a great job at guard this season, now playing defensive tackle. Fakes the handoff to Jones. 3's in the backfield. Doesn't like what he sees. He's dancing around, and Colby finally wraps him up for a loss on the play. That's going to bring up 4th and long, Jeremy. So we've already had 1 4th down conversion by Bellevue, and it looks like they're going to bring a special teams unit on the field. It appears that Bellevue is going to attempt a 40-yard field goal from the far hash.
That's a poke, especially on a night like tonight.
And I will note that the field is wet, the ball is wet.
The rain continues to fall.
A high difficult
slight breeze.
If I'm the Eastlake defense here, I would watch for a fake just at this distance. This would be the time to do it. But Bellevue clearly has faith in their kicker here from 41 yards out. Snap, hold, kick, it's blocked.
I don't know if I
And
can.
Barrick's going to pick it up on the 5. Adam Barrick's got room to run. He's wrapped up by 52 on the 10. And I believe with the blocked kick, if it goes into the end zone, Eastlake would have taken it on the 20, but it's treated as a punt in that ways, and it, I believe, would have been a fumble if Bellevue would have picked it up. So Barrick did all that he could there. And Barry Smith on the sidelines with Coach Hurd. Now, Eastlake now backed up with their worst field position of the night. But, Jeremy, we just had our first defensive stop of the night. We really had one the first drive of the game.
And then we had a little miscue.
A little bit of a miscue, and then Bellevue converted a huge 4th and 5. So it will be Hanska, Landon, and King out at receiver. Orts at tight end with Miles in the backfield. Barry Smith at quarterback. Barry Smith hands it to Miles, who comes to the near side. Miles weaves through traffic, gets out to about the 19-yard line. Clock is counting, 2:15 to go before half. The scoreboard says 3 timeouts left, but we already know Coach Hurd called one last drive, so there's should only be 2 left for Eastlake.
There's 2. And just some great blocking up front by the Eastlake
Agreed.
linemen all game. I mean,
Trips
just
on the
grinding.
far side. Barry Smith looks to throw. He's got Hanska, and Hanska drops what maybe would have been a first down. I couldn't tell if the defender impacted that play or not, but I think Hanska would like to have that back. He's been one of the sure-handed receivers for Barry Smith this year. Clock stops on the incomplete pass.
I think
the
that
minute
ball was
54.
coming out of his hands before the defensive guy. Just
Yeah, it
looking
looked
at that replay, but
maybe just took his eyes off of it as he knew he was going to get hit and he was going to turn. But it brings up a big 3rd down here. Trips again on the far side. Hanska on the near side. It's number 12, the corner on the near side. I don't have his name on our chart. Same play back to Hanska.
And they tried to jump that route.
And Barry Smith misses a little bit to the inside. I think Barry Smith would like to have that throwback.
Yeah.
And so Eastlake's going to go 3 and out and punt the ball from their own 7-yard line or so.
And Jack Steiner in.
Jack Steiner, the punter, who's a very good athlete. This is a huge moment for Jack to get this ball off and get the defense on the field, hopefully past midfield.
No,
that's
not
number
sure.
1, A.J. Morton back to return for the Wolverines. 4th and 5. Steiner is on the 6-yard line. Hanska and Johnson shift in to wingbacks to tighten up the coverage. It's a good snap. Steiner, as he always does, the rugby-style kick, and he doesn't get all of it. It's short, nearly hits 43. Barrick will down it on the 40 or 39-yard line. So a 19-yard punt. Coach Hurd not thrilled with the result of that. Steiner, who's been a fantastic punter all year, I just don't think he got all the ball there.
I don't either. He usually, I think he's averaging close to 40. A little bit of a high snap at some level. I mean, it's not an amazing night out there. So
Bellevue takes over with very good field position inside the Eastlake 40 on the 39 with the minute 39. So this is a stop that the Eastlake defense really needs to get before half. We know Bellevue's also called at least 1 timeout, so the scoreboard's not correct. Carter with a quick pitch outside to number 5. Barrick in pursuit. Runs into his own blocker, and he's going to go out of bounds and stop the clock about the 34-yard line with a minute 30 to go. That's number 5, Jimerson, who's fast. He scored the 45-yard touchdown, the first score of the game on 4th and 5. Not able to get the corner there. Glad to see the Eastlake defense
listed
contain
as
him.
a sophomore, so he's shifty sophomore runner.
I have a lot of respect for this Bellevue offense, but if I had to say there's one weakness is their 2-minute offense isn't what they're suited for. They like to grind the ball up the middle and then go outside. In this case, I don't know if they've got the time to pound their rushing leader Jones up the middle, but let's see where Carter goes here. Carter does give it to 3, who's tackled for a loss by Barrett Bratlin. Barrett, who had a huge game last week with a huge tackle for loss right there, is going to push it back to 3rd and 10. The ball will be spotted
on the 38. So it's 3rd and 9, a minute 21 in the half.
Bellevue takes a timeout.
And Bellevue does take a timeout.
I mean, Bratland fired into the backfield like a cannon.
I love it. I love the defensive call there and the read, whatever.
Had a good low tackle, right? I mean, we talked about that a little bit. I mean, you know, on these tough run teams, you got to get low, especially with these dynamic runners. It's been an area that the Wolves have struggled a little bit, and I know that they're focusing on it in practice, but, you know, that low around the legs tackling like Barrett did right there. I mean, he had him just below the waist, and he could go nowhere.
I will mention our friend senior offensive lineman Mason King, 62, is out with the water bottles there. Mason had an injury, I think, in week 2, and we've been missing him since then. He did start at right tackle the first couple games of the year, and Brady Painter came back from a lengthy injury, has taken over and done a good job there, but we'd hope to get him back here before the playoffs. Mason Flynn, a senior. Bellevue hands off to 23, looks to get outside, doesn't have the edge. It's wrapped up by Barrick, but Barrick doesn't have him. He's going to go for a Bellevue touchdown. That's number 23, R.J. Ward.
Another one of the powerhouses for the Wolverines for sure. So
I'm shaking my head, but you got to give the Bellevue offense credit. When they've had to convert on 4th and 5, 3rd and 10, 2nd and 20, they've come up with big plays.
Agreed. And we had him. I mean, he was stopped in the backfield. He just kept moving and you know, took advantage of that lack of tackling.
The last field goal was blocked. That extra point is not. That'll put one more point on the board for Bellevue. Their 3rd touchdown of the night. Coach Hurd having some words with the Eastlake defense right now. Number 3, Jacob Kim, not suited up tonight. We met with him on Thursday night. We weren't sure if he'd be able to play. He's coming back from a ankle sprain. He hurt in the Tumwater game. After he had 2 big touchdowns, he hurt it during the game and hasn't been able to play since, but he did practice a little bit this week, and we hope to have him come back.
That'd be good. I mean, next week is Bothell. That's going to be a big game.
Indeed.
It's home. It's senior night. So a lot of emotions will be high at Eastlake for sure. And Bothell, again, a powerhouse in the Kinco Crown.
And Bothell beat Bellevue a couple weeks ago by a point.
Was it overtime or
at the very end of the game? It was on the Philly special type of play, a reverse throw back to the quarterback. It was a very exciting finish that Bothell won. But tonight the focus is this game. Eastlake down by 11 points with a minute 10 to go in the half. We were hoping to go in a half either down 4 even with the lead, and a quick change of events, and Bellevue's got the lead. Landon Johnson with the ball.
He's got
makes
room.
A couple of defenders miss, and he's still on his feet. Landon Johnson still on his feet across the 30, down to the 32.
There was a few moments there where he just couldn't get his footing, but it felt like if he could, he was going to take off and be really tough to get down.
Great effort.
Yeah, I mean, 3, 4, 5 tackles, 6 tackles he missed. Yeah, miss him. So
Lincoln Winter is still in the game for Devine, who is
it's a big loss.
Not gone back in since he went down on that tackle for loss. Eastlake in the 4-receiver set. Mason King motions. Play action to Mason. It's going to be a screen, and Barry Smith just throws the ball in the dirt. Looked like Mason King ran into Miles or a Bellevue defender on the play, and it kind of mucked up the play, and Barry Smith just
gets rid of
throws it at Miles' feet, so it was not intentional grounding, and it'll give us 2nd and 10. 55 seconds on the clock.
I like the call. Barry Smith had a couple guys bearing down on him quickly and get rid of the ball and reset the play.
4-receiver set. Bellevue in kind of a 4-deep safety look. Hand off to Miles. He's only able to pick up a couple.
the Bellevue defender celebrating on top of Miles. I heard a late whistle. I don't know if there was a flag on the play or Bellevue calls a timeout. So with 47 seconds to go and 3rd and long, Bellevue is putting their foot on the gas and saying, we want to get the ball back and go do something with this. If Eastlake's able to convert a first down, this timeout will be beneficial to Eastlake. So big down coming up here for the Wolves. Got a text from Miles' Uncle Jordan Johnson. Shout out from Whitefish, Montana. Uncle Jordan and his cousins Charlie are watching the game there. What's up, guys? Good to hear from you. By the way, the last picture on my phone of you was when you cut your toe when we were skiing together. Jeremy, I don't feel like this game has been one-sided.
No.
Eastlake's in this game. Just a couple of miscues to give Bellevue that last touchdown. Miles with the ball up the middle again. Ran into his own blocker, but he's going to get down to about the 40. So it's going to bring up 4th and 2. Interesting call here. Bellevue uses their last timeout. I think if your coach heard here, you have to go for this. He's got 2 timeouts.
41 seconds left. I agree.
I'm a little bit frustrated and annoyed that the scoreboard's not correct, but I believe that was Bellevue's last timeout and that Eastlake has 2. So if Eastlake's able to convert this 4th and 3.
And I did talk to the facilities guy. He said they've been having some issues with the scoreboard.
Okay.
So potentially
right.
it's not able to cycle through. You'd think in a storied football program like Bellevue, they'd have a scoreboard that works, but, I guess we just got to...
They use their finances in other forms, apparently. A lot of respect for this Bellevue program. And Eastlake indeed will punt. This would be a good time for a fake if he could convert it, but Steiner is back. He's an athlete. Rugby-style punt. He gets it away, almost blocked. High punt. The returner calling fire. Looks like Finn Hanna will field the ball on the 30. So Bellevue will take over. No timeouts.
32
seconds. It'll be interesting if they grind and just run the ball up the middle or if they try to throw the ball deep. Miles Johnson is in the game at free safety right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think if they're going to try to get something on the board, they're going to have to go to the air. This is a long way unless they break one loose, and we've seen them do it, but in general...
It is a play action. They are looking deep. Carta down the field, and he's got his target. That's number 8, Landon Johnson in trail, and that is going to be a big touchdown for Bellevue. Nick Nora. You can't let that happen.
No.
That's the only thing you can't let happen. I was a little worried Eastlake without anybody over the top there with 30 seconds. There was no timeouts left. And Bellevue with a huge touchdown before halftime. Bellevue's now scored 2 touchdowns in the last 2 minutes.
Yes. Yeah. And that only took off 10 seconds. So Eastlake will get it back with 21 seconds left.
What a disappointment for the Eastlake defense. Bellevue came into this game tonight 4-2. They did have a couple of losses. We mentioned Bothell. They lost by 1 point. They did lose their second game of the year to Lake Stevens, 14-21. That game was broadcast by Chris Egan on King 5, and as I was listening to Chris, he did it all by himself. I was super impressed, by the way. But in that game, Bellevue threw the ball like they do late in the game there, but their passing game is effectively their play action that we just saw. Yeah. They only have a couple of receivers that go downfield, but man, to give up that play before half.
Yeah, that's disappointing, but
Eastlake does still have a couple timeouts. I'm sure we'll hope for a big kickoff return here.
Yeah, I think if Landon Johnson gets it, he probably has a chip on his shoulder. I don't know that that's a good thing for Bellevue because Landon is a pretty proud young man, and he's definitely a competitor. So
Well, and credit to Carta now, who's 2 for 2 on the night with 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I bet that's his best passing night of the year.
And, number 8 there, Nick Nora, clearly has some wheels because Landon Johnson is fast. Ball will go to the end zone. That'll be a touchback. Clock did not start on the touchback. So the Eastlake offense will take the field.
And I think if you're going to go do something with this, you got to go to the air. You got to get Barry Smith some room back there to do something with the ball. And we're going to have to go target, a Chase Hanchka or a Landon Johnson down the field.
I give this Bellevue secondary credit. They've got some athletes on this defensive side of the ball. Barry Smith hands it to Miles up the middle, so it looks like Eastlake's basically going to concede the first half. Miles thrown down hard by the Bellevue defender. The clock will run out, and that'll take us to halftime with the Bellevue Wolverines up 28-10.
So as we go to half, Dave and I are going to take a little break. We'll get back in here a few minutes before the end of the half. Thank you for listening, and enjoy the halftime show.
Good evening. Under the student leadership of drum majors Carmen Aguedo Shire, Sophia Shu, and Oli Peterson, we are proud to present the Bellevue High School Marching Band and welcome the Chinook Middle School 7th and 8th grade band members as well. Tonight the band will share music from video games. We start with the Pokemon game. Band will now be joined by the Bellevue High School Cheer and Junior Wolverine Clinic cheerleaders as the band performs a song from this summer's Minecraft movie. Here is Steve's Lava Chicken. Bellevue High School Marching Band concludes this evening's halftime show with a medley of 3 short video game themes. We hope you enjoyed the music from Angry Birds, Undertale, and Assassin's Creed 3. We hope you've enjoyed this evening's halftime show. Big thanks. We hope you've enjoyed this evening's halftime show. Big thanks go out to Megan Mangum and the Chinook Band for joining the Bellevue High School Marching Band today. Go Bellevue! Now performing will be the Bellevue High School Dance Team. They'll be performing a power routine to 4 minutes. Pardon me. The song is a mashup. It's a pop mix for the Bellevue High School Dance Team.
Can't you see I'm calling? Got you, don't want
Jeremy, I'm just coming back on the air here for a minute. 5 minutes to go before the halftime goal. Give a shout out to some of our students who are helping out. Eastlake giving it tonight 3-3. Lost the first game of the year. Very good team out here. First game of the year. And then lost to Water and the tough loss on the road to Skyler. As we mentioned, 3 road losses. That was our 4th road game of the year. We just broadcast on the road. It's always, you never know what we're going to come into. We don't know what it's going to be like. We don't know what we're going to be broadcasting from. So nature's in front of us. We've done that before. We'll set up here.
Eastlake will kick off in our second half. Jefferson and Morgan in the back. They see the fireman kick. A.J. Martin takes the kickoff all the way out to the Bellevue 47, where the Wolverines will have it 1st and 10. Max Jones carry of 7, and we have 2nd and 3.
Cuts it back. He's looking to bounce it outside. He has nowhere to go. So great defense there. That's Riley Witherspoon.
Witherspoon on carry, no gain.
A big 3rd down. So Jeremy Eastlake, when he came out of the locker room, and I said we were going to start all 50. I would have been very happy. I said it's 3rd and 5. We get a chance to get the ball back here after the first drive.
Max Jones picks up another Bellevue 1st down.
Some running backs in this league are and they are now inside the 40. Ball's marked on the hash, on the far hash on the 38-yard line. Heavy on the right and the near side. It is a handoff to 3 Rylan Witherspoon. He just picks up a couple on 1st down. Witherspoon's,
Looks
from
like
what I've seen, a
Brattlin
flag thrown late towards the Eastlake defense, and I believe there's some jawing going on back and forth with both teams. I'm concerned that Eastlake's going to get hit for an unsportsmanlike here. Indeed it is, on Eastlake. So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty. Will result in a first down. I don't know who it's on, but in this state, if you get 2 of those, you do get ejected from the game.
And then you would miss the next game.
And miss the next game. So whoever that was needs to zip it. Ball is marked on the 20.
It's another one of those unfortunate situations where we just shot ourselves in the foot, right? I mean, had them, and a little bit of extracurricular gets you.
I get the frustration, but you got to keep your cool. These juniors and seniors know better.
And I would say generally Eastlake has done a good job this year of that. We saw a really
Carter
chippy
under
game.
Center, hands it to 3. He's hit around the 20, down to the 17 or so. Raylan Witherspoon getting the heavy dose of the ball this drive. Max Jones carried the ball the bulk of the first half. 2nd and 8.
So Colby with the tackle there.
Nice tackle by Colby. All right, Bellevue comes out. Heavy formation to the near side. That's Max Jones at fullback behind Carta. Handoff to Jones, and he hits the hole hard, and he's going to score. There was nobody in the vicinity. The Eastlake defense was not in a great position there, and it looked like Jones hit the backside A-gap and was gone.
Yeah.
Another Bellevue touchdown.
And I think you're seeing this running game starting to wear on the Wolves. I mean, 2-way players on the line, a couple guys missing.
And I don't like to make any excuses for Eastlake, but Jack Devine's been one of the best offense and defensive linemen on this team, the junior, and with him out for the balance of the game, it appears we've lost effectively 2 players there.
Yeah, it seems like I talked to his dad. I saw him on my way over to the restroom, and he said that he would be out for the rest of the game. And
well, we hope to get him back.
Yeah.
And number 78, Connor Karch, also not sure if he'll be coming back or not. But the Eastlake kickoff return team will take the field now.
Yeah, we need a little momentum swing here. We need something.
We'll talk about some other positive things. Good thing that I see right now is Riley Hill, number 1, suited up. Riley tore his ACL this
early summer
at a camp down at PLU and had surgery. Then had his appendicitis, had his appendix out, had a rough summer. And Riley is back, and he's a very good lacrosse player. It's great to see him suited up, doing a little long snapping. And Bellevue with the kickoff. Kicks it to Miles Johnson. He'll field it on the 5. Miles coming back to the near side. Steiner with the block. Miles runs into his own blocker, but then is able to regather his feet. And he goes out of bounds across the 35. So nice kickoff return for Miles. Not sure about the spot. He looks like he's being marked at the 32. I thought he got a few more yards than that, but hard to see.
Not sure who that was that Miles ran into, but he ran into somebody hard.
Yeah, I think that was 32, Rory Johnson, who was blocking for Miles, and Miles just didn't read what Rory was doing, and Miles able to get a nice gain. So Eastlake will take over on their own 33. Or throw to Landon Johnson. Nice completion. We've seen this curl route a few times.
Yeah.
That's the first time we've completed it for a gain of 8 or 9 on first down.
And I think that's got to be the change. Like, we got to open up the running game. I mean, they're definitely keying on Miles, and so we need to have some productivity on the passing game if we're gonna be able to stay in this game. And quite honestly, we got to not let the clock run as fast either. So
pulling guard, Miles up the middle, following his guards, and the ball is on the ground. It's still on the ground.
That looks to be a Bellevue ball.
Bellevue's pointing that they got it, but I saw both a white and a blue jersey near the ball, and Miles with a rare fumble.
Miles does not fumble very often, and he's patting his chest. That one's on me, boys.
Yeah, that ball
would have had a nice first down there.
It's a slippery ball out there tonight. And like I said, Miles is a very steady-handed running back. But, yeah, just as I was watching it live here on the stream, that ball just got hit and popped out. So that was not the turn of events we were looking for. We were moving the ball fairly well. Bellevue quick to the line.
Colby Johnson telling the D-line something. Pulling guards, it's a handoff to number 5. He's looking to get outside. He didn't at first. He turns it in. Miles has him. Tackle for a loss, and there's flags down. I think that's going to be holding.
I would agree.
Which is a little bit disappointing because we were able to get a tackle for no gain. And the official on the near side got his hands on his hips like offsides. I think he's just resting his hands.
I think his hands might have been cold. It's cold out there tonight. So
50 Brady Painter subs in the game for Volpone. So Eastlake rotating some of those offensive linemen through at defensive tackle. So big holding penalty, a push Bellevue back across midfield. If I'm Coach Hurd right now, Jeremy, we've got to find a way to get Eastlake, this defense, fired up. That just the team seems a little bit flat. The body language, not what we want. And I know Coach Hurd's pushing these guys as hard as he can. Carter under center. It's going to be a passer. A Carter on the keeper, and he's very fast. He's a sprinter. Juke Steiner, and nice tackle on the backside by senior defensive end Paterno.
Yeah, that was a great, I mean, you know, he kind of juked Steiner there, and Paterno was able to just get him wrapped up, but not before he picks up 15 yards. Brings up 2nd and 5 after that penalty.
Kason Carter, the quarterback, we're friends with his family. When my oldest Estes was young, his father played a little bit at USC, the quarterback, and his brother is also on the team. I believe he's the backup quarterback. Quick handoff to Jones up the middle. He's wrapped up for no gain on the play.
That's big 64.
Big Daddy Finn Waldron on the tackle. So another big third down after the holding penalty. Carter goes with the kind of a naked bootleg of sorts and picks up 15 on 2nd and 20, or rather on 1st and 20. And then a gain of nothing on 2nd down. It's 3rd down and 6 here. So this is a huge play for Eastlake if we want any chance to get back in this game with the deficit of 25 points right now. Delayed handoff to Jones, and he's brought down. I thought Jones was going to stiff arm Steiner, and Steiner just swallowed him up like an octopus and threw him down for a gain of just a couple. So it's going to be 4th and 3. Bellevue leaving their offense on the field. If Eastlake can get a stop here, we would have good field position. Look for Bellevue to possibly go with a hard count now and try to get it on Carter barking it. Carter's looking at his wristband here. I'm guessing this is a play that he doesn't run all the time because I would think he's memorized all the Max Jones dives up the middle. Right. He's talking to Max here. Carter under center. He hands it to 3 Witherspoon, and he spins and spins and spins, and he's brought down by 33 Vandermeed and I believe Barrick, but not before he picks up a big first down on 4th.
Oh.
Give this Eastlake cheer squad
some credit there. That was 33, Caden Eaton.
Caden Eaton. Sorry, I missed Caden.
Yeah.
35 is Vandermeed. Caden Eaton in the game. Caden missed the last couple games banged up. Good to see him in the game there tonight. Heavy on the near side. Card under center. He's going to pass. He's only gone past twice this game so far, and he's going to be sacked for a loss. That's 44, Colby Johnson, the middle linebacker. Good coverage back there by Landon Johnson and Miles Johnson. And Carter 2 for 2 on the night with 2 big touchdowns.
I mean, yeah, great
Colby
coverage.
Was back in coverage, and when he saw Carter roll out, he turned the jets on and closed the gap.
and a big tackle for loss there. So or sack.
Second and 19.
So when we've seen Bellevue with their back against the wall, they haven't continued to pound the ball to Max Jones. They've run passes or other misdirections. Let's see what they have up their sleeve here. It is a kind of a crossbuck play to 3 Witherspoon, and he will get.
That's Caden Eaton again.
He will lose 2 yards on the play. Great job by Caden Eaton there.
So Caden, again, coming in from being banged up, and he's.
Jeremy, there's some wood here. I'm going to knock on it. This is the best 3rd and long we've had. Couple have been not as fortunate.
This is going to bring up like 3rd and 20, or they're saying 3rd and 42.
I'm going to go with a pass or some kind of reverse play here. I don't suspect they'll give it to Jones up the middle on 3rd and 19, but hard count. Carter will pass. He rolls out on the play action. He's got Ort in his face, and
that pass is
Carter
incomplete.
has 6'4" Ort, and his arms are another 3 feet long, and he throws the ball over the intended receiver. I think that was, I missed who the intended receiver was, but
big
brings up
James
4th and
Ort
20.
the third.
James Ort the third. So coach subbing on the punt return team. Early in the game, a huge miscue on a illegal substitution or 12 men on the field on 4th down. But here, Eastlake able to get a stop. And Miles Johnson is back to return. Good snap. Punter takes his time. Low punt away from Miles. They don't want to put the ball in his hands. So Eastlake will take over on the 17-yard line.
So
3:44 to go in the 3rd.
And Dave, that was a big stop. That was a big stop.
That was a big defensive stop. Regardless of the outcome of this game, I'm glad to see the energy and the body language of the defense picking up a little bit there.
There's our cheer squad. So thank you for the cheerleaders making the trip over here to Bellevue tonight. In this rainy night, not an amazing night to be a cheerleader.
These cheerleaders are doing a great job. We had a chance to interview a number of them last week. If you didn't see that interview, go watch the pregame of the Mount Si game.
Here comes Miles.
Miles gets out to about the 20, still on his feet, but his forward progress stopped right at the 20. Jeremy, we were interviewing the cheerleaders last week. We had 3 of the senior captains and a couple of the juniors, and I will say they were very well prepared, very articulate, and very interesting to chat with. And if you didn't get to see that, go back to last week's live cast, and it was broadcast.
And that was just you
before the game. It was just me. You were traveling.
I was traveling
last week,
that week,
and they were fantastic.
Yeah.
Eastlake comes out in a 4-receiver set. King and Ort in the slot. Barry Smith drops back. He's looking to throw deep, and he's got Hanska wide open and just overthrows him. So interesting what coverage Bellevue was in there, because Barry Smith had his target.
He did.
Hanska was wide open. I don't know that he beat a defender. I just think it was a defensive miscue.
And if that ball's just a few feet.
I think Ryder would like to have that one back. I think he could have put a little air under that, and it would have been an 80-yard touchdown. Hanska, one of the leading receivers for this Wolves team this year.
Yeah, Hanska coming in with 3 touchdowns and 341 yards.
Hard count. It was on 2, and Landon Johnson was 10 yards downfield before he realized that it was on 2. So Eastlake will back up 5 yards.
It's another one of those unfortunate miscues. I mean, Landon Johnson was shot like a cannonball out of a gun. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 14. 13.
Eastlake comes out, 3-receiver set. Ort, Hanska, and King on the far side. Landon on the near side. And Barry Smith's going to take a shot to Ort. And Ort catches the ball on the 26-yard line, very close to a first down. It's going to be 4th down. The officials have already signaled. but Eastlake will leave the offense on the field. It's going to be 4th and 1. It's hard to tell.
I think that's the only option here. I mean, it's not
4th and a solid one here. Budish will check in the game. King comes out, so a little bit heavier run formation.
And Ort has been the probably the number one target, or not number one productive receiver tonight.
Yes, he has. Look for either Miles or a play action with Barry Smith keeping it himself. And Miles does keep it.
He's
and he
got the first
penetrates
down.
through and gets across the 30. So it's a big first down for Miles. Clock will stop while the chains move. Couple minutes left in the third. Budish will check back out. Goes and collects a paycheck after getting some work done there.
So
Clock winds under 2 minutes in the third. Ball spotted on the far hash, 30-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wolves. Trips on the near side. Landon, Mason, Ort. On the far side is Hanchka. And it is another run of Miles, and he slips through a few tacklers, picks up about 3 or 4 on first down. It's going to bring up 2nd. Jeremy, after we saw Barry Smith take that shot to Hanchka, I think Coach is going to remember that play. As I look on the far side of the field, I notice the rain has started to come down a little bit more. Not what we want if we're trying to throw the ball, but Hanchka is the single receiver on the far side. Trips on the near side.
Yeah, Mason King.
Barry Smith, play action. No, he hands it to Miles. Or Miles takes it, and there he goes! Miles Johnson across midfield! Miles to the 30! Chased down, and the ball comes out. It rolls out of bounds on the 15-yard line.
Nick Nora chased him down and hacked that ball out of him as he was making
Great
the tackle.
effort by, was that Nora or A.J. Morton? We'll see the replay there. Miles Johnson with the huge
We're not going to see a
run.
replay. I think we weren't quite ready for that.
I believe the ball was spotted on the 35, so that was a 50-yard run by Miles Johnson. He's got to be creeping up on 200 yards on the night. Miles going to come get a drink of water and take a blow. Coach Hurd happy with that play, giving Miles 5. So 3 receiver set. We've got King and Landon on the near side, Hanchka on the far side, Ort at tight end on the near side, and Steiner's in the backfield at running back. Barry Smith rolls to Steiner's side. Quick out, just out of the hands of Mason King. Tough catch, but as my coach has always said, if you touch it, buy it. I think Mason can catch that ball. He's just not able to get it there. Brings up 2nd and 10 for the Wolves. Ball spotted on the 16-yard line after the almost 50-yard run from Miles. Trips on the near side. Barry Smith calling signals. Steiner motions out. They don't go to Steiner. Barry Smith's going to keep it himself. He's still behind the line of scrimmage. Barry Smith goes. Touchdown! Ryder, Barry Smith, and there's a flag on the play.
And the ball came out.
That's going to be a 15-yard penalty on Bellevue. The touchdown was called, and the Bellevue defender teed off on Barry Smith while he was in the end zone. And Coach Hurd is not a happy camper. That was a great run by Ryder. I don't know if it was a dirty hit because he was near the goal line, but not the type of hit you want to see on your quarterback 1 yard in the end zone. Maybe Ryder could have got down, but if you slide there, you get marked down maybe on the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
That is an unfortunate circumstance if Ryder's hurt.
Yeah, and he's definitely down.
So backup quarterback,
So he's
senior
up.
J.R. Gill, who we've seen. He's the
Here comes
placeholder.
Ryder. Ryder's coming off under his own power, jogging off.
Glad
Always
to
good
see
to
Ryder
see.
up. That was a big hit, but Ryder with.
He's got 2 older brothers. I'm sure he's
Now there's
taking
no
a
points
hit.
on the board yet. Okay, there's personal foul on the defense. Touchdown is good.
Yeah, there you go.
So the official signal to the booth, it'll put 16 on the board for Eastlake with a chance with the J.R. Gill hold and the Byman kick here to cut the lead to 18 here at the end of the third quarter.
And not that I didn't want to see JR. I mean, we're seeing JR right now, but, it gives Ryder a few minutes to take a blow and see what happened there.
Snap, hold, and kick, and I'll note that was Riley Rue Hill on the snap. J.R. Gill on the hold, and Byman with the kick is good. Puts one more on the board for Eastlake.
A little love to Riley. I mean, senior gets hurt preseason. Looking forward to his senior year, and he's able to get in last couple games as a long snapper. His older brother, a long snapper, also.
I just got a text that our mics may be having an issue.
I got a similar text, but I heard it was also back. So if you're having a hard time hearing us,
send us a text if you an
let
updated
us
text
know.
if you can hear us there. Apologies for that. That was a few minutes ago. Look, I think we're back on.
Yeah, I heard the same thing, but then I heard we were back. So
hey, we got we're missing our leader Sean Crandall tonight. We're all doing our best. So we had a little bit of a mic miscue, but we just figured out what happened there. So Eastlake with the penalty. There may have been 2 penalties on the play. We'll kick off from the Bellevue 45-yard line. So interesting.
I'm guessing we're going to see some sort of pooch kick.
Or either an onside kick or he'll just boot it out of the back of the end zone. I'm not quite sure what Coach Hurd's got up his sleeve here, but I would love to see an onside kick, but I don't blame him if he boots it out of the back of the end zone and lets the Eastlake defense try to get a stop here. If Ben Byman kicks at full strength, this will be into the end zone, and indeed it is.
So we're going to take it at the 20.
Number 1, A.J. Morton, who returned the ball to the 50-yard line last time. Now, I don't know if Byman got all of that or if that's where he was trying to kick it, but the ball only made it in the end zone by about 5 yards. He's capable of much more.
And you mentioned Miles, again, unofficial, but he's right at about 200.
200 yards for the night. Great job, Miles.
So it's a big, that's a lot of work against a tough defense like Bellevue here.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, his dad had 305 rushing yards in a game, so maybe Miles could break off a couple here in the 4th. And
I would love to see it.
And take his dad's record that was
not have to count on all-purpose yardage.
In this uniform, indeed.
That would be a fun little...
Bellevue in the heavy formation on the near side. It's going to be a quick handoff to Max Jones up the middle, and he's got room to run. He's hit by Miles Johnson on the 32. For a moment, I thought the ball came out. It was a hard hit by Miles, but...
And I guess the other thing for Miles is I don't think Justin played both ways.
He did.
He did.
He was linebacker.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
There you go. Dave knows. So I was
He
gonna...
did. Well, Bobby Jones educated me, so I give a shout out to Bobby Jones there. He did. He was a defensive player also.
So 1st and 10, 17 seconds. Clock is running.
Handoff to Jones again. He's hit hard by Colby Johnson at the 35. He'll pick up a couple, but it'll bring up 2nd and 8. The clock will wind down, and we will flip directions for the start of the 4th quarter. So, Jeremy, I can't sum this game up other than Bellevue's just had a couple more big plays than Eastlake's had. This was a 4-point game with just a couple minutes to go in the half, and then Bellevue with 2 big plays.
A couple big pass plays, a couple of unfortunate penalties for the Wolves that marched just in the wrong direction, and yeah, I agree. I mean, the score or the game is much closer than the score.
And I give Bellevue credit; they've converted 3rd and long, 4th and long.
Let's give a quick shout out while we break for our sponsors, Kinson and Kinson Homes, Kinson and Kinson East Side and Seattle Home Experts, Pine Lake Ale House, craft beverages, tasty eats, and good times, the best atmosphere in town. Sherrill Hill Compass Real Estate, helping Sammamish neighbors find their place to call home. LBM Travel Incorporated, thank you for your support, LBM Travel. Let Leanne be your expert guide to travel and savings. Pape Material Handling, thank you for your support of the Eastlake football. And Bradley Distributing, big thanks to Bradley Appliances, helping families on the east side with trusted appliances and great services.
2nd and 8. Handoff again to Jones up the middle. He slipped through a couple of Wolves. He's going to be near the yard to gain. I believe it's going to bring up 3rd and short. It is going to be 3rd and short. So Eastlake's got to get a stop here. Ball sported on the 42.
Bellevue with the no huddle. Carter comes up to the line of scrimmage calling the play. Look for a handoff to pink shoes, Max Jones. It is a handoff to Jones, and he will get enough for a first down. The ball will move out to the 44-yard line, and that'll move the chains.
Big Finn Hanna on the stop. So
Volpone subs in the game. Looks like Brady Painter will come out. Great to see Brady Painter playing some defensive line tonight.
I think probably by necessity.
Bellevue comes out heavy on the far side. It's a fake to Jones, hand to 3, and he's running around the edge, tackled by 20 Miles Johnson. And that's Rylan Witherspoon with the gain of 7 or 8 on first down. 8. The Bellevue driving here for the start of the fourth quarter. Miles now, we haven't done stats on tackles, but he
leads the team coming in tonight with 29.
I think he's got 5 or so tonight.
Yeah.
So Miles with 200 yards on the ground and a lot of tackles on defense. His only miscue of the night was his one fumble, and that doesn't happen very often. Bellevue gets across the 45. That will move the chains. So that will be a 1st and 10 for the Wolverines as they march into Eastlake territory.
Clock stops momentarily for the chains to move. It's back running, clicking down just past 10 and a half minutes left.
I've got a text that the audio is back, so thanks for confirming there, friends. Bellevue with 2 receivers on the near side. 5 motions. They give it to him. Doesn't get around the outside. Paterno nearly had him, and then a whole pack of Wolves. And I'm glad to see Eastlake keeping their cool there.
Eric,
I think there was a temptation to...
Waldron. There was a...
And that was Jimerson, Dresden Jimerson, who is got some serious wheels.
Yeah,
he scored the first touchdown of the game, 45-yard run, and we see him have some other good carries. So it'll bring up 2nd and 13. This is a good spot to be for the Wolves defense. Heavy on the far side of the field. Jones in the backfield. He hands it to Jones right up the middle, and he grinds for about 7 or 8 yards on 2nd down. So it's going to bring up a big third down and 5, a long 5 for the Wolverines. If Eastlake wants any chance back in this game, this play right here is going to be the most important play of the game.
When I think they got to stop. I mean, they can't give him a yard. If they give him a yard or 2, you know that Bellevue's going to go for it on 4th and this kind of field position.
They've been successful with Jones on the weak side. They do hand it to Jones on the weak side, and Volpone is there for a gain of only 2. So that was Max Jones ran for a 20-yard touchdown a couple drives ago, and it was on that play where the wing was heavy on this side, and they hand it to him on the far A gap, but the Eastlake defense picked that up. So 4th and I'll say 4. The scoreboard says 3. The yard to gain's about the 35. Handoff. They fake it to Jones. It's to 3.
And he's got
Rylan, and he's got it. I thought they had him in the backfield for a moment, but he does a good job turning the corner and gets the yard to gain by a couple.
He's a downhill runner. I mean, he made that corner, and I mean, he's tough to handle.
Once he plants his foot and turns, he's a good running back.
He's tough to handle.
You have to respect his speed outside also.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times tonight too. So.
Yes. Clock winds down 8 minutes. This Bellevue offense just chews up the clock, moving the chain. Carter under center. He's still got Jones behind him. He hands it to Jones, and Jones has got a big gain. He's going to be tackled by Steiner, but not until he gets down around the 15.
Just ticking him off, and clock continues to run.
Max Jones has carried a heavy load tonight. He's been hit many times. He's not the biggest running back,
He doesn't run incredibly physical, but he's like a clock that keeps on ticking.
Yeah, I mean, he's 5'11", 210. So, I mean, like I said, not a big guy.
To him, it's handoff to 23, who's got the edge. I thought I saw some jersey on the near side, but that's 23, R.J. Ward, sophomore on the run there.
Injury timeout.
There's a Wolf down on the play. Jeremy, this drive's kind of summed up the whole game, really. Eastlake's had opportunity after opportunity to get a stop. We have a couple of times, but this drive, Bellevue with some big conversions, some big rushes for 10 or 12 yards, 15 yards on first down. We're just not able to put a full drive together on defense.
And this Bellevue offense will wear you down. And with a couple of key guys out, like Logan and Jack Devine on the line, it just starts to, wear you thin. And so,
good to see Adam Barrick on his own feet. He was the Wolf that was down. He looks to be fine.
Adam, Mike linebacker, called his name a whole bunch tonight. So he's been a big part of this defense all night. And good to see him up on his own power.
Adam's also played some running back for the Wolves.
And Adam coming in with 24 tackles, so...
So Nolan Budish comes in at middle linebacker for Barrick. Bellevue fakes the ball. No, they do hand it to Jones, and he picks up a couple. Tripped up. It's going to be 3rd and 1. So Bellevue knocking on the door here in the red zone as the clock winds down inside of 7 minutes. We mentioned tonight the rain was going to come and go, and right now it's coming. It's not pouring, but it's drizzling on the field enough certainly to make the ball
go look
wet.
at the lights across, and it looks like it's a little more than a drizzle. I know the lights.
See some water puddling up on the Wolves' tin over the cheerleaders' gear. Carter under center. Jones behind him. They give it to Witherspoon on an inside handoff, and that play did not work. The ball comes out, but it was after the whistle. Finn Waldron running with the ball makes me want to see him play fullback.
Yeah.
Big Daddy. And there's a Wolverine down on the play. It is Witherspoon.
Oh, it's unfortunate.
Bellevue's ran that play a couple times tonight, and I feel like of all the runs they have, it's not their best play. Jones up the middle and Witherspoon around the outside, but Witherspoon up the middle without Jones as a blocker.
Not really working well tonight.
Didn't work, and that's resulted in a loss of a couple yards there. It'll bring up 4th down. Now Witherspoon is on his own feet, so glad to see that. Great athlete. He's had a great game tonight.
Shout out to Kendall, Eastlake's athletic trainer out there helping the Bellevue training staff with Jones. She does a good job with not just our boys, but any player that's down. So shout out to Kendall.
So, Jeremy, it's 4th and 3. Bellevue's coming out now. There will be a new running back in the game. It is Trevin King. Trevin actually played on the Eastlake travel team when we went down to Las Vegas when this group of seniors, the 2026 seniors, were in 8th grade. They missed their 7th grade year of football. And
Estes made friends with him at a birthday party.
We did. And we had one of our tailbacks, Marcus Frantella, broke his collarbone in the championship game here, and we needed to pick one up. So Trevin came in, and it's a fumble. The ball's on the ground. Regardless of who has it, it's not going to be a first down.
Looks like it's
Eastlake. So a big 4th down stop, a rare miscue by the Bellevue offense, and Eastlake gets a turnover on downs.
See if we can see who recovers this for Eastlake on the replay. But yeah, the ball
just came out of Carter's hands. Looked like Budish actually.
It looks like
had it for a moment, and then
he squirted out underneath him.
Squirted out, but it didn't matter. Yeah. It was a turnover on downs. So Eastlake takes over with 90 yards to the end zone.
It'll be Hanska and Ort on the near side. King and Johnson on the far side. Miles in the backfield. Barry Smith is looking up the sideline to Hanska. And good defense there by number 1, A.J. Morton. He's able to jump and get one paw on the ball.
Target for Hanska.
We knew they would come back to Hanska eventually, but Morton in man coverage there. Must have been the last time that Hanska was open. It was some kind of zone coverage.
But we're definitely going to have to see some air attack if we're going to get back in this game. Not saying that we're going to get back in the game, but if we can get it a little bit more competitive, that'd be great.
King on the far side. He doesn't look like he's guarded. Hanska on the slant.
Oh.
And Chase, I think he tried to ran before he had secured the ball, and that would have been a first down. Great throw by Barry Smith.
Yeah, great ball. And Hanska had it. You know, again, tough conditions to catch the ball tonight. It is
pouring down now. If you look at the Wolves tent over the cheer gear, you can see the pools of water getting larger, and I don't want to make any excuses, but if Hanska holds on to that ball, he's a tough dude to bring down. He might have had a big gain. Barry Smith, similar play, looks down the seam, and it's underthrown, nearly intercepted. The Bellevue defender, slow to get up. I think he's okay. I think he's frustrated at himself for not catching the ball. That's number 29, Marvin Kalipo, sophomore.
Yeah, definitely had it right through his hands.
And the Eastlake punt team will come on the field. Timeout, Eastlake. So I'm not sure if Coach Hurd is considering going for it on 4th here, or punting, or if he just wants to make sure he's got the right people on the field.
Yeah, so as we take a quick timeout, let's talk about the Wolves in the Woods.
Wolves in the Wood. What is the Wolf in the Wood?
From week 7, Finn Waldron is our big Wolf in the Wood. I mean, that guy that we've been calling his name all night tonight.
And no, that's his performance from last week.
That was his performance from last week. He is our only 2-time Wolf in the Wood, so Finn, great job. And then their skill was Barrett Bradlin. We talked about him a fair amount tonight. Last week he had 2 interceptions and a big part of that Eastlake defense. So
Wolves in the Wood, we came up with this year. It's really our player of the game from the previous game, and we have what we call it bigs, which is one of the offensive or defensive linemen, and then one of the skill positions, and so we're giving one to each. So the Eastlake offense indeed comes out, and Barry Smith's going to take a shot on 4th and 10. He's dancing around, and the ball is batted down. He had Hanska coming back to the sticks, and Eastlake will turn over on downs on the 10-yard line. Tough series for the Eastlake offense there. They need to throw the ball to be able to move downfield in the hurry up.
And this is just such a good secondary for Bellevue. I mean, they have a ton of good athletes. Obviously, their running backs are great, but their secondary and the defense is also shown tonight that they're very effective.
So that is Mason King at fullback behind Cardiff.
Looks like Adams back in the game.
And King had the ball for a gain of 3 or 4. He's thrown down by Waldron. So Trevin King came down to Las Vegas with us with Marcus Frantella. Our other running back was out, and it was Trevin King and Miles Johnson were the 2 running backs for Eastlake down in Las Vegas. We won 1 game and lost a game to Alaska, who had some big boys on their all-star team.
Yeah.
But that was a fun way to finish youth football for this group of 2026 seniors. And this group's played together, C team and JV, and these juniors and seniors on varsity the last couple years. Handoff to 23, hit in the backfield by Colby, but not able to bring him down. Miles had him wrapped up. I think Miles was trying to strip the ball there, and Eastlake not able to pull the ball carrier down. That's 23, RJ Ward, for the 6th touchdown of the night for the Bellevue Wolverines.
Yeah, it's a heartbreaker. Said I don't know that the score reflects the game. With a couple of big, unfortunate, touchdowns that were really big plays, but Bellevue's a force to be reckoned with for sure.
I don't know if it's a surprise for me tonight, but this was our worst passing performance, and it wasn't necessarily Barry Smith's fault. The receivers dropped some balls. A couple miscues here and there, but I agree with you. This Bellevue secondary is good, and when we did have a chance and one Hanska ball, he was open deep, didn't quite hit him, and Barry Smith's thrown a couple right on the numbers that the receivers were not able to come up with.
I would say across the board, just not marching and, hitting on all cylinders, on any of the, I guess running game has been fine with Miles coming in.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Miles having 200 yards, you'd think that would open up. They'd have to defend the run a little bit more, but it's almost like they forced us to beat them with Miles' legs, and Miles has done very, very good tonight. He's got to the end zone a couple times and had some big runs, but we just haven't been able to produce enough points to outscore this high-octane Bellevue offense.
Yeah.
Kick is deep, fielded by Landon Johnson near the goal line. Landon gets out across the 20, and he's wrapped up
right at the 21.
By 34 on Bellevue. That's Boda Rue.
Any relationship to Riley Rue?
I don't think so. The ball spotted at the 21. Landon with about a 20-yard return there. Seemed like he ran a long way to only get 20 yards, but I think he was traveling a little bit east to west there. So Eastlake comes out again in the 4-receiver set. Hanska, Landon, King, and Ort. Miles in the backfield. Barry Smith motions Miles out of the backfield. Doesn't throw to Miles. He throws it to Mason King.
Man, it looked like if he throws it to Miles, Miles has a lot of green space in front of him.
Flag down on the play on the far side of the field, about on the 21-yard line. Looks possibly like conversation of illegal contact on the defense. No, it's going to be on Eastlake. They're asking Bellevue if they want to decline it. So false start or illegal procedure of sort on Eastlake will be a 5-yard penalty and replay first down. Bellevue does accept the penalty.
Not sure what's going on.
Officials
Bunch of
blowing the whistle.
whistles.
Not quite sure what's going on here. Gives the Wolves a yard. I'm not sure how that transpired, but Barry Smith takes over on 1st and 15, trips on the far side, single receiver on the near side. Barry Smith looked to pump deep downfield, still keeping his eyes downfield. He's going to run it. He's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, so it'll bring up 2nd and 15.
And just not much working downfield for him.
I liked what I saw there. Barry Smith kept his eyes downfield. I thought maybe a receiver would get open, but not able to make anything out of that excellent pass blocking, I would say. So 4-receiver set, twins on the near side, twins on the far side. King and Ort in the slots. Hanska and Landon out wide as normal. Miles in the backfield. Barry Smith, a little bit of a low snap. He's got Ort. Throws it behind him. Ort was open. If Ort catches that, that's definitely a first down. I'm not sure Ort was looking if he was supposed to sit down in that zone or keep running. But a good ball by Barry Smith, just either behind him or Ort didn't settle down. Unfortunate miscue brings up 3rd and 15. Clock stopped with exactly 4 minutes to go in the game. 4-receiver set again. Ort on the near side slot, King on the far side. Barry Smith looks King's way. He's looking down the seam. Barry Smith on the run, throws it away. And he's hit late. That's going to be roughing the passer. I don't know if it'll be an automatic first down, but I believe that's a 15-yard penalty. May result in an Eastlake first down. Barry Smith hit late after the plays. Got his right hand behind his back. I don't know if his hand or back's a little sore, but personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense. They do signal for a first down on the play.
Tough for Ryder, good for the Wolves.
Ryder's taking a couple of shots tonight. That one was unnecessary after the throw, but Eastlake the beneficiary. So the ball be spotted on the 31, 3:52 to go. Clock is stopped on the incomplete pass.
Get the chains reset.
Chains have reset. The box now shows one. So we've got Twins on the near side, Orton the slot, and Hanska. Far side is King and Landon. Miles in the backfield. Bellevue with a 3-3 defense right now. It's a screen pass to the middle. Miles catches it. He's wrapped up quickly by number 20, Asher Cook. You could see the 3 Bellevue defensive linemen fly through the line, but the 3 Bellevue linebackers were right there to make the play. I like the call.
I do too.
Just a little bit more execution. We needed somebody to pick up number 20 there. So again, 4 receiver set.
2nd and 8. Clock's running.
Barry Smith calling the signals. Looking down the field, and he's going to be sacked for a loss of about 3 on the play. Almost got back to the line of scrimmage. Barry Smith had his eyes downfield. I think his target was Hanska or Ort on a vertical route, and he didn't like what he saw. He stepped up in the pocket hoping to get a little bit more time, and good job by the Bellevue defense there to wrap him up.
3rd and 13. 2:45 on the clock.
Barry Smith calling the signals. Bellevue now in kind of a 4-man front. Curl route to Hanska. Hanska catches this one. Still on his feet. Gets across the 35 to about the 37. So it's going to bring up 4th and 5, depending on the spot. Not the most generous spot of the night there, but Eastlake's got to convert here.
But even if you get a yard or 2, you're not converting.
Nice catch by Hanska there. That ball was a little bit low. He did a good job to get his hands under the ball. Look for Barry Smith to hit Hanska on another curl right now. No, he looks the other direction. He's got Landon Johnson, who's hit hard, but not before he gets a first down, and there's a flag down. I think that's going to be called targeting a defenseless receiver. So Landon's tackled on the 45, comes up a little slow. With the flag down, if that's a 15-yard penalty, that will move the ball all the way down to the 40. I don't know that Eastlake has enough time to win this game, but I'd like to see them close the gap on the scoreboard.
That'd be great.
The score, I don't think, represents the effort by these players tonight.
But yeah, tough. I mean, that was a tough hit by Landon, or on Landon, and great catch and composure to hold on to it. You know, again, it's raining pretty hard here.
So number 2, Estes Oliphant checks in the game. My son, he's in the slot where Mason was. Mason now goes out wide. The clock was running. The officials asked for the clock, stop the clock. 4 receiver set. Barry Smith looks to the near side. Hanska catches it on a slant. Hit forward, still on his feet. Hanska inside the 25-yard line. So the Wolves now knocking on the door. Clock will stop while the chains move. Minute 36 on the clock. Hanska was wide open. Great throw by Barry Smith.
Great throw,
Just
great
when
catch.
we talk about no huddle, Barry Smith calling the signals. It's Orton Oliphant in the slots. Barry Smith looking to Hanska. Doesn't see what he likes. He's going to throw it. Oh, thought he was throwing it away. He threw a laser at Hanska, who was coming back at him. It might be best that was incomplete. I don't think he would have picked very much up on the play.
I think he might have Lost a yard.
A creative throwaway.
Yeah.
So the ball's spotted on the 25 after the Hanska slant.
Looks like Mason King checks out of the game.
This is Estes' first offensive series of the game. He played kickoff team earlier tonight. So Estes is the split out on the far side. That's 17. Gideon Birchfield in the slot next to Ort. So Trips on the far side, Hanska on the single side. Barry Smith's going to throw to Hanska. Ball's batted down. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10.
So clock stops at 1:15 left in the game.
Miles checks out. I just noticed Reeve Doshi's in the game at split in for Hanska. So coach getting some of these guys that don't get a ton of playing time, a couple reps here in the last drive of the game. It will be a play action, no, rather a keeper for Barry Smith, who gets a first down. He fakes the handoff to Steiner, picks up about 12, slides down. They spot the ball where he started his slide. They still move the chains, but it's spotted on the 25, so he only got 10. Barry Smith's with the no huddle. Ort in the slot, Oliphant out wide.
I like the call.
Birchfield on the near side. He's looking to Oliphant. He throws it to Ort. Ort's going to get hard.
Flag on the play.
Ort hit hard on the 11-yard line. The clock is stopped with 45 seconds to go.
That was a late flag. I'm not sure.
I suspect they're going to call another targeting a defenseless receiver. It wasn't a dirty hit. It was just a very hard tackle.
Yeah.
Ort is 6'4", maybe taunting after the play. It does look like there was some extracurricular there. I don't think it was on the contact. It was.
I was going to say that contact looked clean, looked good. Yeah, but and that flag came in late. They're going to wave it off.
Flag is waved off. Okay, so 44 seconds. Clock is stopped. I would think after the penalty wave they would start it because he was tackled in bounds. There, the clock does start. Barry Smith's got trips to the near side. Miles motions out. He throws it. No, sorry, that's Steiner. Steiner cuts it inside. Steiner down to the 3-yard line. The clock will stop while the chains move. Coach does have some timeouts he could use here. I think I'd like to see him use them, but Eastlake going to the no huddle. 29 seconds to go in the game. Again, that's Birchfield and Ort in the slot. Oliphant out wide. Doshi on the near side. Handoff to Steiner. No, Barry Smith calls his own number. He cuts it up. Touchdown, Barry Smith.
Ryder Barry Smith.
Good
Second
job,
of the
Ryder.
night.
Not meaningful whether this was a win or loss, but nice to see Eastlake close the gap because now with this being an 18-point game and you think about those 2 touchdowns before half, that would have made this a 4-point game. Those 2 miscues.
Or the 2 big plays in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's a couple of plays that you see here tonight. And again, you take the pressure off. You know, you got guys in that aren't normally playing. You got, Jack Steiner. You got, Gideon and Estes and some guys that, aren't getting a ton of reps in. They're just playing football. And you're seeing how productive this team can be. So
it is good to see that the Wolves were able to move the ball and score with some of those guys on the field. And good to see Hanska get a couple nice catches that drive. He hasn't had his best game of the year, and he had a couple of big productive plays there. Bellevue did have a couple of penalties that drive that were helpful. But with 19 seconds in the game, I suspect that Byman will try to
kick an onside.
Either kick it out of the end zone or possibly an onside kick. Bellevue lining up as if it will be an onside kick. Starting fullback Max Jones right in front of the ball. Byman back to kick here. I noticed Jacob, number 25, Neka Kitty, Jacob Rocco in front of us, the senior, getting a rep here.
And it is indeed an onside kick, fielded by 23, and will fall down on the 49-yard line. So a favorable bounce and field for Bellevue there. It'd be nice if that had bounced off his chest and back to Jacob.
I agree. That would have been...
Bellevue, I suspect, will go into victory formation and come out of here tonight victorious. A couple new Wolves come in. .36 Troy Baker in at linebacker. Nakakitty in there at safety. Number 9, that's Richard O on corner on the near side.
Richard Ow.
Ow, sorry. Richard. Also, I think that's an 81 back at, oh no, 21. No, 81 back at free safety. I don't have an 81 on the roster here. Not sure who that was. Maybe Thomas Wood. Looks like his physical stature, but that's the game. A couple of those guys getting some varsity reps there for A play. So here we are, Jeremy, at the end of the game.
Maybe
it's
Andrew
Friday
could
night,
switch
and the
to
Wolves
our
are on the road.
Our announcer cam, Andrew.
Rolling the credits here.
Yeah.
Sean Crandall, we miss you tonight, Sean. Hope all is well with your family. Andrew, you were a machine tonight, running a lot by yourself, and Jeremy and I did what we do here tonight, but.
And not the outcome we wanted, but still a lot of sparks of greatness throughout this game. Miles coming out of this game with somewhere around 200 yards, and so that's a testament to Miles. We had a lot of love for the Johnson family tonight. That was fun.
Indeed.
Yeah. And tough game next week, right? I mean, next week we're at home where we got Bothell, and that Bothell game means more now than it did coming into this game for sure for the not necessarily the KingCo title because we're out of that, but for playoff positioning for sure.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that earlier in the game. We did control our own destiny for the KingCo title. If we would have won tonight, Bellevue would have had 2 losses, and if we would have beat Bothell head-to-head, then we would have had the tiebreaker. But now with this loss, Eastlake having 2 conference losses, we are out of the title, but the playoff implications will be interesting next week. The way that Washington does it, I'm always a little confused, but after we play Bothell next week, we will have a crossover game that they call it, and it's not clear who we will play that first week. It's not necessarily a playoff game, it's a postseason game, but it seeds everyone for the playoffs.
And if you lose that game, you're out.
You're out.
Right? So
absolutely.
It's call it a play-in game, if you will. But we could see, any number of teams from throughout the state, for that seeding.
It will be somebody from a different conference, usually.
It will be, typically. So, obviously wait and see what happens next week. Big game. Bothell beat this same Bellevue team. Bothell's a good program. So it'll be interesting to see what happens for sure.
They're big up front. They run the ball well. I don't know how well they throw the ball, but as we saw it here tonight, Bellevue only really needed to throw the ball a couple times.
Twice,
to be
I
productive.
think. Yeah, 2-3 times.
We committed really 11 guys to the box, counting the corners there. So appreciate everyone for joining us. Please, again, like, subscribe on the channel. Next week it'll be a Friday night game, Friday Night Lights. There'll be a lot of senior festivities, so tune in early next week. I'm sure social media will announce what time it'll be live. You and I won't be up in the booth at the beginning, but there will be pre-recorded senior festivities. There will be a very neat video that's being produced.
So you'll want to see that even if you don't see it before. You'll want to see it afterwards. So thank you. Have a great night, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Go Mariners.
Go Mariners. And hey, if you're on the screen right now, this is a shout out for Eastlake Youth Football. You can pause if you want or hit this. This is a PayPal. If you'd like to make a donation to youth football, this is not for the high school. This is a separate 501c3 organization. I'm actually the president of it, and my buddy Andrew Brill over here put this on the screen. But we talked about this a few weeks ago, and a few people said, I can't believe that's what it costs. But our field expense this year for the community fields for just practice is in the neighborhood of $25,000. And then the high school, actually, Lake Washington School District raised the prices that we're paying for the stadium, which will be in the neighborhood of $8,000 or $9,000.
So just fields alone is $35,000. And then we have insurance and storage costs and website. There's no paid employees on youth football. Everybody's volunteer. And then, of course, every year we're buying helmets, refurbishing helmets and gear. So if you want to pause there and give a little donation to youth football on that PayPal QR code, it will make a difference. This year we're looking to buy new jerseys. We've had the same jerseys here for about 6 years, and it's time to replace them here soon. So that'll be our big capital investment. So,
And
Andrew, thank you for the spot there. Thank you for all you did. We're going to have some work to pack all this up and to get it back dry in the vehicle. But